Hezbollah, and other forces, and now threatens Israel.
Iran has been promising to retaliate for a strike on its consulate in Syria. Israel blames Iran for financially and operationally supporting the October 7th attacks.
Fox's Evan Brown. A surveillance tool used by the U.S. government would be renewed for 2 years under a revised bill that passed the House today, winning enough bipartisan support, though it still also has opposition on both sides of the aisle. Some critics say a warrant should be required in certain cases to better protect Americans' data collected during surveillance on foreign targets. Abortion rights will be on the ballot in another state this November.
The Coloradans for Protecting Reproductive Freedom Coalition says it has enough signatures for a ballot measure that, if passed, would add the right to an abortion to the state's constitution. There are similar votes planned or being pushed for in several other states, including Arizona, where the state Supreme Court this week upheld the near-total abortion ban passed 160 years ago. Abortion's legal in Colorado, with no restrictions on how far along the pregnancy can be.
Fox's Chris Foster. Police still investigating a tractor-trailer crash into a Texas public safety building earlier today. One state senator says that truck was stolen and that the crash was deliberate. Investigators haven't confirmed that. The lawmaker also reporting 3 people airlifted with critical injuries, 3 others in serious condition. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
We've gotten a lot of rain. Cloudy, 56 degrees on the circle. No rain at your radar. Low of 43 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. 3.5 inches of rain in 3 days, says Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It's now put us into a point where we're just shy of 6 inches of rainfall for the month of April. That is now the wettest start to the month we've ever had on records.
Bailey says there's a chance for severe weather next Tuesday and Wednesday. A teenage boy found with a gunshot wound in the northwest side of Indianapolis Thursday night. He was pronounced dead. At around the same time, another man walked into a hospital. He'd also been shot. He's alive but badly hurt.
That could be connected, and so that could help give us an idea of what went on out here and possibly apprehend the suspect or suspects.
IMPD Captain Don Wildhammer. He says any help from witnesses would be appreciated in the case. Attorneys for Richard Allen in the Delphi murders case don't want the jury to hear possible statements made by their clients. Kurt Darling reports.
Richard Allen was once held at the state prison in Westville. It was there that he is said to have confessed to the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. Allen's lawyers want Judge Fran Gull to suppress those statements, meaning that they don't want the jury to hear them. They claim Allen was in a state of psychosis when making those statements due to the conditions in which he was being kept. Allen's trial starts next month. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.63, says Gas Buddy. Sometimes politics can get in the way of a friendship, but that didn't happen with the late Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry and his best friend. John Herrick reports.
Henry's best friend was Steve McElhoe. Henry was Fort Wayne's longest-serving mayor and was a Democrat. McElhoe often leaned to the Republican side, but McElhoe says someone once told him that only Democrats get into heaven. So at Henry's funeral on Friday, McElhoe looked to the sky and asked Henry a favor.
Tom, please put a good word in for me with St. Peter. I'm really hoping he's a bipartisan gatekeeper. Thank you.
Hundreds of people attended Henry's funeral. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Congresswoman Sparks will be ready for your interview soon.
It seems pretty intense in there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Maybe I'll take some time before the interview to Google Victoria Sparks and learn a little more about her. Whoa. Have you seen this article?
One aide calling the lawmakers' workplace behavior manic?
Victoria Sparks was #1 on Legistorm's list of worst bosses based on high turnover rates.
Says she, quote, avoided firing aides and instead bullied them until they left.
And the story is based on interviews with half a dozen former staffers.
Yikes. Sparks called staff morons and idiots.
Get this. Victoria Sparks says her working style is, quote, not for everyone.
Well, it's not for me. I think I'll pass on this interview.
I'm Chuck Goodrich. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go with Chuck Goodrich Committee.
The traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Baer.
Good afternoon, Harrison. Looking at southbound 69, just a little bit slow, 96th Street, 282nd, and inbound 65 stop and go from 21st to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies for the day today. It is going to be a windy one here with highs near 58. Clouds decrease tonight, will fall to 42. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. It's been more than 24 hours since the news hit yesterday that O.J. Simpson, notorious, nefarious, accused of murdering Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. The news that he had passed away of cancer at the age of 76. He lived in Las Vegas. Here is the latest from Las Vegas.
A defense lawyer at the coroner's office in Las Vegas says O.J. should be allowed to keep living. This plea was made after the mortician realized O.J.'s corpse was just too big for the body bag.
I see.
If the body bag don't fit, his life don't quit. O.J. Simpson's Still Kickin' residency opens this weekend at the Mirage in Vegas.
See, this is funny because he's awful and dead.
Apparently, he's still alive. I don't know, according to the coroner there in Las Vegas.
He owes $100 million to the murder victims.
Yeah, they're going to go after his estate for sure. I mean, it's just a travesty because he was found guilty in civil court of murder and wrongful death or whatever you call it, and he never got a dime. They weren't able to touch his NFL pension. But he never paid a dime and flaunted it and flew it in their faces, man.
Had all this money to go out on these top-level elite golf courses to, quote, look for the real killers, but never had any money to give to the family. Which, again, just goes to show what a scumbag he is. You got away with murder. The least you can do is pay off the family.
Please.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. She offered condolences to O.J. Simpson's family following his death yesterday. Take a listen to this as she gives a very heartfelt, very sentimental message to the juice, but conveniently leaves out the family of the people that he murdered.
Was there any reaction from the president to O.J. Simpson's death? Do you know if they ever crossed paths? If so, how, when?
So I'll say this: our thoughts are with his families during this difficult time. Obviously, with his family and loved ones. And I'll say this: I know that they have asked for some privacy, and so we're going to respect that. I'll just leave it there.
Well, any follow up? How about the families of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown?
Nothing.
Nothing on that?
Crickets chirping.
Well, he was found not guilty criminally, so there's that. Maybe she, didn't want to compromise herself.
If you thought that was a little cringeworthy.
Oh, I thought it was a lot cringeworthy.
The fine folks at CNN say, hold my beer on this Beer Sample Friday. Earlier today, CNN contributor Ashley Allison, she's a former policy advisor to the Obama White House, Ashley Allison. She says that the black community feels connected to the juice because he killed white people.
It's not like O.J. Simpson was the leader of the civil rights movement of his era. You know, he wasn't a social justice leader, but he represented something for the black community in that moment, in that trial, particularly because there were two white people who had been killed, and the history around how black people have been persecuted during slavery. There were just so many layers.
So it's like reparations almost.
You get to murder two people, and there's your reparations. That's an amazing piece of audio. That's incredible. I mean, the jurors even said as much because of the Rodney King verdict. It was payback. That's on the record.
Right. And this wasn't some, ignorant woman at the grocery store or the barber shop or somebody doing a podcast from their basement. This was somebody that was a policy advisor for a president of the United States and a CNN contributor, basically saying black people loved OJ because he killed Whitey. Unbelievable. So
is it really, though, for CNN?
That's a great point. So what we decided to do to balance out what we've heard from and CNN, here with an all-new perspective, is AI Nigel.
Man, I'm glad he's dead. That's one less person in front of me at the liquor store. Hey, did you know I used to work at X103?
Yeah.
X103, X103. Did I ever mention I worked there? I mention it a lot because I'm having a midlife crisis.
Yes. Maybe.
Now, if you will excuse me, I have to go drive really slow on the highway, clear my throat on the air, turn up some Nickelback, and find a way for my fat face to look even more bloated and red.
Oh, come on.
Fuck OJ. Nigel out. Nigel out. Do I really sound like this? My fat bloated face. I worked at X103.
Take a drink every time you hear it. Man, this sucks, man. The House, in a bipartisan vote, reauthorized the nation's warrantless surveillance powers earlier today. So the FISA program gets a 2-year extension, meaning that the Biden Department of Justice and everybody in between, they can just spy on you whenever they want.
Yeah, FISA is like a backdoor way to spy on Americans without a warrant, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It's how they were able to surveil the Trump campaign. The U.S., it's basically the U.S. could spy on non-Americans outside the country without a warrant, but it, while it's doing that, can collect intel on Americans in contact with those surveilled individuals. And it's how they spied on Carter Page.
It's how they spied on Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, and by the way, Carter Page, when the Trump campaign and he was never even charged with anything. He was the man who they got the warrant to spy, and he was never even mentioned in the Mueller report. And I can look. It's only 2 years extension. If Trump gets elected, then there could be a chance to reevaluate. So it's only for 2 years. But yeah, there's documented proof, widespread FBI abuse of FISA. 280,000 times between 2020 and 2021. It's been documented. It's been reported.
And the way this works is the party in power will find someone of the opposition they don't like. They will spy on that person. They'll get text messages. They'll get phone conversations. And their friends in the media are more than happy to be their partners. They leak that information in an attempt to smear that person. That's exactly what happened to Tucker Carlson, if you remember, when his text messages were leaked out. And I'm reading here that a number of Republicans gave 2 thumbs up on this, signed off on it, including Greg Pence of Indiana. The Masters underway, Nige, day 2 in Augusta. And as you can hear, CBS, the home of the Masters, the longtime broadcast partner of the Masters, they are ready for all of the excitement.
The Masters is back on CBS. Prepare yourself for a week of the image of a golf ball being struck in slow motion. The tee spinning slowly round and round. Whose tee is it? And will they pick it up? Who cares? Because it's the Masters on CBS.
Yes. Some people think golf is boring. I love it. It's currently DeChambeau and Scotty Scheffler in the lead, tied at -7.
Okay, so Bryson DeChambeau is the leader. Yesterday, there was a little controversy involving the voice of the Masters, Jim Nantz. The iconic CBS broadcaster, Jim Nantz.
He recently stopped doing the NCAA tournament, kind of retired from that gig.
Right.
And he's now exclusively doing just like kind of one-offs, right?
Right. So I want you to listen closely. We're going to play a piece of audio coming up here in just a moment. So a player had made a bad shot. I can't remember who the player was, but somebody made a bad shot. So listen to this piece of audio. Did Jim Nantz say that an area of the course was a, quote, ticklish little pitch, P-I-T-C-H, ticklish little pitch, Or did Jim Nance call the leader, Bryson DeChambeau, a ticklish little bitch?
He knows it. He also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up. DeChambeau.
So we're going to play it one more time here.
I'm going with the second.
Was he calling an area of the course a ticklish little
I got it, yes.
pitch? Or was he
Yes.
calling Bryson DeChambeau a ticklish little, well, you know?
He knows it. He also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up. DeChambeau.
We need a verdict, Nige.
Yeah, I'm going with the second option. No question.
I could make the cheap transition and say, speaking of ticklish little. But I'm not going to do that because I respect Matt Baer too much.
All right, Hammer, looking at westbound 70, stop and go from Emerson Avenue into Rural Street, Keystone Avenue, and looking at southbound 65, slow traffic 21st to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Spring's here, so it's the perfect time to get your HVAC in top shape with Mr. Quick's $49 preseason tune-up. Get ahead of the heat and enjoy comfort all summer. Visit MrQuickHomeServices.com and get your home tune-up today. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, Matt Baer.
Yeah.
Get your ticklish bitch ass in here and do some radio with us.
I'll be there in a minute.
All right, Matt Baer getting ready to join us. Again, we got the camera going on the YouTube stream. Jump in the YouTube chat, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are rocking and rolling on a beer sample Friday. The beer bong's coming out later on. We are going to have a good time. Right now, rare sunshine and 57 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Matt Baer joins us next.
Liberals have quit on America.
We have a secure border.
They'll deny it while they throw away the America we built together.
I'm telling the American people that we're going to get control of inflation.
It's no accident they let Indianapolis burn, or why our border overflows. Jefferson Shreve, he fights back. He's conservative, pro-police, strong border. So he gets hit like this.
Jefferson Shreve, Trump-style politics trashing our city.
And what's more, Shreve takes no lobbyist money, owes no one, and can't be bought. So to them, Shreve is the enemy. Defend our country from the left, the elites, the ones who've been bought and sold. Defend it with a fighter who can't be bought. For law, order, and a secure border, he's Jefferson Shreve for Congress.
I'm Jefferson Shreve, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Shreve for Congress.
You love spring in Indy, but you hate to paint, so do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you too can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The greatest American rock and roll band in history, Aerosmith, present Peace Out, the Farewell Tour. Aerosmith, with special guest the Black Crowes. Cambridge Fieldhouse, January 16, 2025. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Aerosmith with the Black Crowes, the Farewell Tour. Peace Out.
Waiting on a tax return? Hopefully it ends up in your hands. Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues. And all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Help protect your information this tax season with LifeLock. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
On a map,
the southern border is 1,000 miles away, but that's not how it feels to my family. I grew up in a blue-collar home in Richmond. My dad was a factory worker. He was laid off twice. Not because the factory was doing poorly, but because it was cheaper to move those jobs across the border. I'm Jameson Carrier. Today, it's not what's leaving across the border that's devastating our families, it's what's coming in. And once again, it's personal. My wife and I lost our son Joey to fentanyl, a tragedy that's become far too common. To President Biden, secure the border is just a talking point. But to our family, it's life and death. I'm Jameson Carrier. I'm a business owner, a native Hoosier, and a Trump Republican. And we can't wait another day to secure our border and put Americans first. I'm Jameson Carrier, and I approve this message.
Jameson Carrier for Congress. Paid for by Carrier for Congress, Inc.
The countdown is on for the 2024 NFL Draft presented by Bud Light in Detroit, and you can attend in person for free. Experience live concerts, interactive games, player autographs, and more April 25th to 27th. Visit NFL.com/draft access to register for free entry today.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Matt Mayer, the traffic beast, live in studio for his weekly Friday hit. I believe you were one of the many that were saying the Eclipse exceeded all expectations. But I am worried about the people in New Jersey because a library in New Jersey made a goof. They gave out counterfeit Eclipse glasses accidentally.
Yeah, that'll hurt the eyes.
I'm wearing the ones that I wore that Allison gave me, I believe, on Monday, which was perfect weather, by the way, because the rest of this week has been crap. What did you think of the Eclipse? Exceed the expectations, or?
I thought it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Yeah. Really, I mean, I'm serious. I had the glasses that weren't counterfeit, so I can see everything here in this beautiful unclean studio right now. And it's just, I thought the weather was perfect. I thought it was a perfect event, and it just, I have this really cool picture that I took. Everybody has a really cool picture of the eclipse. Let's be honest, but mine's super cool, and it's
actually just a picture of Nigel's butthole.
Yeah, it's actually just a picture of Nigel and I hanging out in the bathroom. I mean. We meet there every day after
we
the
told
segment.
Matt that was the eclipse, but in all actuality,
it's just Nigel and I hanging out like we always do.
My eyes ached after watching that thing. Did anybody else's eyes ache?
I was good.
I feel pretty good. No,
really?
Yeah, I think so at least, but I don't know. I mean, I'll wash my tub with Drano and forget to wash it.
My glasses fell off because we were doing a live broadcast. My glasses fell off like once or twice while I was looking, so I only caught a glimpse of it, unshielded. But so maybe that's what it was from.
Well, we weren't sure when they exactly used the glasses. Was it before? Was it during the totality or after?
It's before and after.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to use it after, Matt. That's not how it works.
That's why I got into
my eyes are burning, so I put my Eclipse glasses on when it was done. Good God!
And then I went right on red downtown. Yeah.
How was the traffic though? Because when you joined us last Friday, we didn't know what to expect. Was this going to be like a race day at the Speedway, or was this going to be like maybe 4th of July when the fireworks are downtown? How was the traffic?
Oh, it was like race day on steroids. I haven't seen anything like
Not
it.
Indy 500 day.
Yeah, it really was.
Really?
As far as the northwest side goes in the outbound traffic. Not so much before the race. Before the race, I'm like, well, there's not a lot happening. And then before the race, after the eclipse, everybody went straight for 65. I'm not 70, not 65 on the south side, 65 on the northwest side.
And 74 too, right?
Yeah, and 74.
West, or east.
If you're going to Illinois or Chicago, that was the outbound, and we had a 35-mile delay that stretched on 65 from Lafayette Road all the way up to Clinton County in Frankfort. And we're talking about solid, nonstop traffic. We're not talking about just periods of slow here. We're talking about solid traffic all the way up. And I haven't seen this before. And it just absolutely, it went above and beyond anything I'd seen for racing. It was cool to report on. I just felt really bad for everybody being stuck in it because it sucks.
So, Matt, Monday's a big day. It's tax day, but it's also the WNBA draft. And I got to be honest, I don't think anybody's ever been super stoked for the WNBA draft, but now they are because the Fever have the number 1 pick, and it's going to be Caitlin Clark. Are you in? Are you all in on Caitlin Clark mania?
I think this is so kick-ass for Indianapolis, and I mean, they've sold 10,000 tickets to this draft party at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for Monday night. Yeah, or not sold them. I think no, they are free tickets. Excuse me, but just the fact people have picked up 10,000 tickets to go see this at an NBA venue, I think is amazing. And let's see if the numbers are correct. She brought in over 4 years in Iowa. She brought in $83 million to the state of Iowa, which is a lot of money for the state of Iowa, and it is comparable in so many ways. I mean, this is going to be a thing that goes on and on and on as long as she stays healthy, and as long as we can keep her with the Fever here for Indianapolis. And I'm not just talking about, you get those game nights. You get those sold-out game nights now with the Fever here downtown. It's great for the pubs. It's great for the restaurants.
People who've never been to a women's basketball game, WNBA or college, they're now saying, you know what? I want to go watch Caitlin play.
Exactly. And that's the magic of this thing. I mean, I know a lot of dads that would make watching Caitlin Clark in Iowa basketball a sit-down event, a daddy-daughter thing. Just they can be like, look at this woman here. Look at this incredible woman. You can be like her in whatever you want to do with your life.
And these young girls that play basketball in the surrounding states, whether it's Ohio, Illinois, driving over from Iowa, they want to see Caitlin in action.
Yes, it's a hell of a point. And think about, there is a lot about money here for Indianapolis, and as an Indianapolis person, that's important to me. But we have these things we need to develop. We have this hellhole over here to the just to the west of us called Circle Center Mall right now, where the escalators never work. They're going to have to redevelop that. I mean, we're talking about money for all of these projects that we can really do and not have to worry about the taxpayer paying, as long as that we continue to generate this revenue. I think it's really exciting, guys. I mean, I think this is I'm told. Now, I never know how these things are turned out, but I'm told this is a LeBron James type of event, like a Peyton Manning type of event.
Oh, the Visit Indy guys. I had a chance to see them at a dinner the other night. Chris Gall and Leonard Hoops. They've got a package together, a Caitlin Clark plan in place.
Oh, wow.
And so all these folks coming in from out of town that want to watch her play, they're staying the night in hotels. Well, now you got them here. Let's give them some dining options. Let's give them some other entertainment since they're here. It's going to bring in some money to the city, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. And that's another thing. The more people we can bring into the city, the more people. And I'm not Mr. Tourism Board here, but it is an awesome city, and I love it. And yeah, we have our problems, but I love being here all the time. And I want people to experience. I think about what happened with the Super Bowl. I mean, people are like, wow, there's just like gem in the middle of the Midwest, and it's so cool. And yes, we had the weather.
And we got a little kiss with the weather.
We got a big
Super
kiss
Bowl
with
from
60-degree weather in February.
Gods, yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you, but it's when people get here, they're like, this is a cool place that I want to come back to. And that's special, man. So, yeah, I'm all in on Caitlin Clark, and I really think it's going to be everything. It's going to be like the Eclipse. It's going to be that and more.
So we ran a little long here. We got about 30 seconds left. What's coming up on your podcast, Supporting Sobriety?
Ooh, yes. We are taping this weekend, Ryan and I, and we have a judge coming on because we are going to talk about three things.
Is it Judge Mark Stoner?
No.
Because I'd like to be in the room.
No. With special guest Jason Hammer. No.
You hear Stone Cold's glass-breaking music? By God, that's Jason Hammer's music.
That's a great idea, by the way. We'll figure out a way to get that in. No, we're going to, the show's going to be called Your Addict's Been Arrested, Now What? Because again, this Supporting Sobriety is for the people behind the people. It's for the people that helped us, our addicts and alcoholics, I'm both, recover out of their disease and to get healthy. So we want to say thank you and make that living amends to them. So, what do you do? I mean, you have a kid and they're arrested for the first time. It's an OWI, maybe a fentanyl arrest. It could be 1,000 things.
Do you bail them out? Do you leave them in?
Well, yeah. What do you do now? What are the steps? What's drug court like? And those are the things that listen, I don't know the answers to these. I mean, I got arrested when I was 23. That was like 40 years ago. So we're going to be able to bring on somebody, actually talk from an expert opinion. It's going to be a great episode. I'm really looking forward to it.
Judge Lance Ito joins Matt Baer this weekend. It's
the irony. I mean,
where can people find the podcast?
At Sobriety_pod. That's at Sobriety_pod. We have a great thing going on X, even better on Instagram. We're doing some writing there, and it's a lot.
And wherever you get your podcast, you can find the full show there.
I do Spotify. You can find it on Apple, any podcast provider.
Right Matt, you're the best.
Love you guys.
Thank you. The Hammer and Nigel Show.
A broken border, corrupt politicians, and the rise of communist China. We don't need leaders who will surrender. We need America First conservative Mike Speedy. Mike Speedy endorses President Trump and will join him to fix our border once and for all. Mike Speedy will fight the woke leftists to guarantee life and liberty. Speedy has a track record of fighting and winning. Mike Speedy is the only candidate in the GOP primary with both an A+ rating from the NRA and the endorsement of Indiana Right to Life. Speedy is the conservative who beat the abortion lobby, voting to make Indiana pro-life in the post-Roe v. Wade era. Mike Speedy also voted to ban sanctuary cities and voted to guarantee our right to constitutional carry. Mike Speedy, America First conservative for Congress. Vote Republican Mike Speedy in Indiana's 6th Congressional on or before May 7th.
I'm Mike Speedy. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
Dents happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Tim McGraw. In concert. The Standing Room Only Tour 2024. A night filled with your favorite songs. This Thursday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. With special guest Carly Pierce and Randall King. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tim McGraw. Presented by Sports Illustrated.
Did you know if you have water, storm, or fire damage, the first step is on you? Yikes. It's your responsibility to mitigate damages. Mitigate? Yeah, that's a fancy word for call Michaelis. They'll take it from there, from boarding up, cleaning up, and fixing up, to getting you squared up with your insurance company, which is a whole other mess you can avoid. Make it Michaelis. Call 844-FIX-INDY.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's caused some problems. Partly cloudy, 60 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Radar's clear, low of 43 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. Rain this week has caused plenty of flooding in Indiana, including here in the capital city. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey says it was about 3.5 inches total.
It's now put us into a point where we're just shy of 6 inches of rainfall for the month of April. That is now the wettest start to the month we've ever had on record.
Bailey says it'll stay windy today. A teenage boy found with a gunshot wound at the northwest side of Indy last night and pronounced dead at the scene. Around the same time, another man walked into a hospital having been shot. He's alive but badly hurt.
That could be connected, and so that could help give us an idea of what went on out here and possibly apprehend the suspect or suspects.
IMPD Captain Don Wildhammer says any help from witnesses would be appreciated. Police in the Texas town of Brenham say someone stole an 18-wheeler and intentionally wrecked it through the front door of the Department of Public Safety building. Reports say the man may have been upset over being denied a commercial driver's license. 3 people were flown to a hospital, all in critical condition. The suspect has been arrested. The new head coach of the Indiana State Sycamores basketball team is Matthew Graves. He was hired by the previous head coach as an assistant 3 years ago.
Josh said, one day, I hope I build this program up to where I can leave it for you to be the next caretaker. Now, I didn't think it was going to be in 3 short years.
Graves played his college ball at Butler. He says leading the Sycamores just feels right. The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.63, according to GasBuddy.com. That's the same as the national average. And a winning Hoosier lottery ticket was bought during Wednesday's drawing.
And it was a $100,000 ticket. I'm John Herrick. The Hoosier Lottery says it was purchased at Madar Petroleum on Southeastern Avenue in Indianapolis. The entry matched 4 out of the 5 numbers and the Powerball. There was also a power play. The estimated Powerball jackpot for the drawing on Saturday is $46 million. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:34.
According to a 2023 Gallup poll, 71% of non-retired adults are worried about retirement saving. At Howard Bailey Financial, we don't believe retiring with confidence should be guesswork.
In fact, our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we provide our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you won't outlive. To receive your complimentary toolkit, text CLARITY to 866-482-9559. Take a step toward a more confident retirement with Howard Bailey Financial and text CLARITY to 866-482-9559.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TS1.
With traffic at 335, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, I'm looking at southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic now from 21st to Meridian Penn, and then eastbound 72 downtown slows from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. South side, westbound 465 slow south Meridian over to Harding Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies for the day today. It is going to be a windy one here with highs near 58. Clouds decrease tonight, will fall to 42. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
Let's be honest, when it comes to the way things should work in Marion County, Republicans and Democrats disagree quite a bit. But right now, I think there's one thing that's bringing everybody to the table together, in that something has to be done with what's happening in the criminal justice system. This is all coming out in light of the very light sentence that Judge Mark Stoner handed down to the killer of IMPD officer Breanne Leath. And joining us now on the hotline is a state representative for District 89. He is a ranking minority member of the Courts and Criminal Code Committee. Democrat Mitch Gore joins us, and we appreciate your time, Representative. Before we get into what can be done and Republicans and Democrats working together here, before we touch on all that, just take me through your initial reaction when you heard that really light sentence come down from Judge Stoner to the killer of Breanne Leath.
Well, I think what's important to realize is that, because Dorsey was only able to be charged with reckless homicide, that's a level 5 felony, and the max for that is just 6 years. So, the family, the law enforcement community, I think the community at large was already disappointed that that's all he was going to be able to get for killing Bree. And then when the sentence was just 4 years, which was essentially time served, that was a real blow to a lot of us. But I don't want people to think that it could have been much, much higher. The max was only 6 years, and that's where the legislature comes in. That's our failing. We're going to have to come back and address that next year.
Okay, so what can be done? Because I know this is a really tricky situation here, especially when you're talking about judges and decisions and things like that. The Superior Court judges for Marion County, they're appointed by the governor, and then they can pop up on a ballot a couple years later to be retained. So I'm looking at Judge Stoner here. Back in 2018, he was retained with 76% of the vote. How hard is it to try to find some sort of legislation that, you feel is proper, but at the same time, you got to understand that 76% of the people thought this guy was perfect for the job?
Sure. Well, the first thing that we're going to do, and I just sent a letter with my colleague, Representative Garcia Wilburn, herself from a law enforcement family, to the Legislative Council. We need to study in the summer moving reckless homicide, which is what Dorsey was charged with for killing Bree, from a level 5, I think, to a level 3. The sentencing guidelines on that would be anywhere from 3 to 12 years, and that would give our judges a lot more leeway to consider the facts and sentence somebody appropriately. And then in terms of the judges, there are only 3 counties in Indiana that don't elect their judges, and I think that's not right. I have an obligation to look out for my constituents. My district's entirely within Marion County, and we deserve the opportunity to elect our judges like every other county, because I don't know if any judge has ever not been retained. I don't know if people totally comprehend what they're doing when it's called a retention vote and you have a bunch of judges there. So clearly we need to get back to electing our judges in Marion County. And I think that would allow the people to be a little bit more informed about the person they're voting for, not the judge they're deciding to retain or not.
What's been the reaction when you've brought that up to some of your colleagues?
Listen, the 3 counties that don't get to elect their judges, representatives from those counties have been harping on this issue ever since we lost that ability, and we don't get a lot of traction in the General Assembly. All we're trying to say is fair. Don't treat our counties any differently, but we don't get a lot of traction on that. Now, the other solutions, including perhaps increasing the penalty for reckless homicide, I have gotten some bipartisan support for that notion. I think everybody understands that we want proportionality in our laws, especially our criminal statutes. And with reckless homicide, homicide's right there in the name. Somebody has died at the hands of somebody else, and the max they could get is only 6 years right now. And that's not the fault of the judges. That's the fault of the legislature. We have to come back and make that much more proportional so that people can get a sense of justice when things like this happen.
We're speaking with Mitch Gore. He is the state rep for District 89 here in the state of Indiana. Representative, one of the questions we get a lot from social media, people that call in, is about recalls, right? They see recall votes in other states. Probably the most high-profile example is what happened in California. Gavin Newsom had a recall vote, which he ultimately won, but the vote took place. What are the chances of something like that happening here in Indiana? Could something like a recall be available to deal with some judges that have a history of bad decisions?
I think that, so I wouldn't support recalls unless everybody who's elected, unless the law applies to them as well. And that means state representatives, state senators, everybody across the board. I'm not going to pass a law that says, well, we can recall this kind of elected official or appointed official, but not this kind. That seems a little self-serving. So, if it were comprehensive, that might be something I could get behind. But really, I think our founders built in recalls and their elections. I think recalls could just be a Band-Aid to the problem. I think that electing our judges in this particular case is the holistic solution that we really need to address. And again, the vast majority of other counties get that option.
And you made a great point earlier, and something we've mentioned before. So often when people go to vote, they've done their homework on their, senator, their governor candidate. They've done their homework on who they're going to vote for the president. But some of the other things on the ballot, a lot of voters, even folks who consider themselves politicos, have no idea about. And these judges, whether it's in Marion County or somewhere else, they pop up for these retention votes. And more often than not, people just vote yes for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. People take it seriously when you're taking away somebody's job and somebody's livelihood. And so I think they feel obligated to vote yes without any information to the contrary. And that's why I don't think you've seen anybody not retained in recent memory. I can't name one, and I haven't found anybody else that can name one either. It would get us back to, I think, what was intended, under our system, where you learn about the individual candidate and you're able to vote for that person. And of course, I'm not saying that they have to be partisan elections necessarily. There are plenty of We have nonpartisan judicial elections in Indiana, and we have them across the country. It doesn't have to be a partisan thing, but it does need to be more frequent than a retention vote, and then retention votes every decade. And it needs to be based on the person so that people can do their research and know exactly what they're voting on.
State Rep Mitch Gore with us. All right, so one more time here before we wrap up. Give us like a timeline here of some things that you would like to see happen, some things you may be rolling out. If we're looking for, and I don't know if justice is the right word here, but change most certainly in the way things are functioning in Marion County, what's a fair timeline?
A fair timeline would be a lot of study and a lot of work here during the summer and into the fall. The legislature comes back into session January. It's a long session, so there'll be 4 months where we can try to get some things across the finish line, including electing our judges in Marion County, including moving reckless homicide up to a level 3 from a level 5, probably adding some aggravators for other crimes if they're done against law enforcement. And I really want to take a look at a comprehensive Victims' Bill of Rights to make sure that victims of violent crime feel like their voice is heard and that they've been consulted prior to sentencing their attackers. And again, that would all happen in essentially the first quarter of next year, but a lot of work going in to the process before that.
Well, Representative, we'd love to have you back as we get closer to go time for that, because I think a lot of people are interested in this. And again, thank you so much for addressing this, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Yeah, Hammer, Nigel, I appreciate you guys for highlighting this. Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Attention seniors, you're invited to the grand opening of Centerwell Indy West. Centerwell offers primary care centered on seniors, so come celebrate on Thursday, April 18th at 5115 West Washington Street in Indianapolis from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, call 317-754-7291 or visit meetcenterwellindiana.com.
Say hello to the power, performance, and precision of Ram trucks at Kahlo and Noblesville. The strength and style of Ram, combined with the experience and service you'll only find at Kahlo.
Right now, save up to 15% off MSRP on select in-stock 2024 Ram 1500 Tradesman 4x4 models.
See the massive inventory of Ram trucks at hellokahlo.com or visit the new showroom on State Road 37 in Noblesville.
All rebates and incentives included in final discount. Stock number KCN 240157. Price excludes tax, title, and fees. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for details. Offer ends 4/30/24.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, it's our once-in-a-lifetime sale. You thought the Eclipse was big? This sale is bigger. Every mattress by Indiana-made Sealy. All outdoor furniture by Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. Every sectional, sofa, recliner by Indiana-made Smith Brothers and Lazy Boy is on sale now through Monday. Low price guarantee only at Thompson Furniture Mattress in Columbus.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
This year, your home improvement experts with B Window are partnering with Sullivan Hardware and Garden to help beautify your home. We're proud to partner with B Window, offering lifetime warranties, quality products, and exceptional customer service. Now offering 50% off all products, plus 20 months, no interest, no payments. And for a limited time, Sullivan Hardware and Garden will add a $500 gift card for all qualified projects completed with B. Join our partnership. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
Michelin's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $200 more. See store for details.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Matt Bear, what's going on?
Hey, Amber, we have a crash in Greenfield at US 40 at 600 North and 600 East. Looking at southbound 65, stop-and-go traffic, MLK to Meridian Penn. Southside eastbound 465 slow from Man Road over to Harding Street. And eastbound 70 slow to downtown from west. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland, online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we got some clouds in the sky, 57 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
I'm counting down, so turn around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make that booty go.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yeah, coming up after 4 o'clock. Some more numbers on the economy. That's they're wonderful numbers, by the way. You can hear the sarcasm from my voice. No, but this is important stuff that you need to know about in terms of your paycheck and where your money is going. That's at after 4 o'clock. Got a study right here, kind of along the same lines, Hammer. Grocery shopping on an empty stomach, according to this new study, will cost you $26 per trip.
I got to be honest, I thought that number would be higher.
Grocery shopping on an empty stomach? Oh, hell yeah.
When I shop and I'm hungry, everything looks good to me.
It's like I go from thinking I need to stick to the list to, well, this list is just a starting point.
Right. The list is just a suggestion, if anything.
76% of people agree that they're more likely to spend more if they shop while they're hungry. 60% say they're also likely to buy unhealthy foods. That's it for me.
Bingo.
Grocery shopping while you're hungry is one thing, but then that leads to unhealthy choices.
Right. Like you start pushing the cart and you look over, I haven't had pork fritters in a while. I guess I could make about 10 when I get home, because you think this way when you're hungry.
Have you ever been grocery shopping and opened a bag of chips whilst grocery shopping?
I have not.
I have. Oh, I have.
List in Indiana, baby.
Classy, baby. This study says that the average person makes 2 grocery runs per week and budgets $162 for their haul. Now, that's a little vague because it doesn't mention how many, they don't break down how that changes depending on the size of the household, but $162 in our household ain't.
Well, the thing is, we go once a week, but it's a big, massive, all right, this is the grocery trip. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be about $300 damn dollars. If the coupon lady's doing her job here, we can get that down to about 2. But, yeah, I mean, it's multiple carts. It's the entire back of the family truckster. There's no going back later in the week unless you forget something, which can happen.
But you don't do the delivery, like the shipped?
Kroger delivers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you do the delivery.
We can.
Okay.
Yes, we've done it before. Sometimes we'll just go to the store. Other times we'll just have it set up to be delivered.
I thought previously the Hammer household exclusively went to the store. You weren't down with the shipped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
it depends on the schedule, though, right?
It's
like
so
if we need groceries now, screw it. We're going to the store. But if we've got time to actually sit down and plan it out. All right, Saturday morning, 9 a.m., groceries will be arriving. Real quick, Allison, let's do some legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Dateline Toronto. A burglar broke into somebody's home in Toronto. They stole jewelry, prescription meds, and clothes. but they also left a little something behind. A large bowel movement in the toilet. The burglar took a big old dump and left it.
Oh.
So you know in Home Alone, they're the sticky bandits? Well, these are the... well, you know where I'm going.
I could make such a great joke right now. It would involve the word burglar and the word turd. But I better not.
The good news is an arrest has been made. Police officers 3 days later found the suspect walking around in these stolen clothes.
The victim's clothes?
It was a woman.
Oh.
It was a chick.
What'd they charge her with? There has to be something about defecation.
Possession of stolen property, breaking and entering, and leaving a big old growler. That's what they should charge her with. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
How would you like to get a 13% bonus when you invest your money? And not only do you get a 13% bonus, you'll also get an annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Discover how you can get an upfront 13% bonus plus a competitive annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. Learn more from the retirement guy we trust, Bill Demery in Indy. Just call 317-932-9912.
This is such a no-brainer for me. You get an upfront 13% bonus plus a competitive annual return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years. And it's backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world.
So call Bill now at 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Business. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these companies is a partner helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide all choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business, the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
See why Comcast Business powers more small businesses than anyone else. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call to switch today. Ends 5/6/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey, honey, take a look at this. I thought Chinese businesses buying up Indiana farmland was illegal.
Well, politician Chuck Goodrich voted for a special deal to let Chinese communist companies buy farmland.
Oh, I guess that's why they're calling him China Chuck.
Yeah, he also gave a sweetheart deal to another Chinese company to control Indiana land.
Oh, he really earned that name, China Chuck.
Worse, that Chinese company that Chuck Goodrich gave the deal to, President Trump banned it because it was a national security threat.
Wow, I'm not voting for China Chuck Goodrich. He puts China first and Hoosiers last.
Remind me, who's China Chuck Goodrich running against?
It's Republican Victoria Spartz.
Oh, I love Victoria Spartz. She's an America First conservative. She stands with President Trump to finish the wall and defend our borders.
Oh, Victoria's got my vote.
I am Victoria Spartz, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Victoria Spartz for Congress.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
The greatest American rock and roll band in history, Aerosmith, present Peace Out, the Farewell Tour. Aerosmith, with special guests the Black Crowes. Cambridge Fieldhouse, January 16th, 2025. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Aerosmith with the Black Crowes, the Farewell Tour, Peace Out.
Coming up in 2 minutes, why a political opponent of Indiana's Attorney General thinks he's gone too far, and someone in Indy won big off the lottery. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
President Biden's message to Iran. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. It's one word: don't. Amid reports that Iran is preparing to attack Israel soon. Tehran has said Israel will pay for a deadly strike on Iran's consulate in Syria this month. Answering shouted questions from reporters, the president says his expectation for an attack from Iran is sooner rather than later.
Israel says it will respond to an Iranian attack. President Biden says the U.S.-Israeli defense link is ironclad. He had more to say about that today.
We are devoted to the defense of Israel. We will support Israel. We will help defend Israel, and Iran will not succeed.
The Pentagon moving more assets in the region just in case.
Fox's Greg Palcott, the head of U.S. Central Command, has been in Israel meeting with defense officials. The State Department telling U.S. embassy staffers and families not to travel around Israel until further notice. Wall Street on edge. The Dow down 475 points at the bell. That's actually off the session lows. A U.S. assessment finds China is aiding Russia's war in Ukraine by surging sales of technology to Russia, which uses that technology to produce missiles, tanks, aircraft, and other weapons. Two senior Biden administration officials telling the Associated Press about 90% of Russia's microelectronics came from China last year, along with nearly 70% of its machine tool imports just in the fourth quarter. President Biden has raised concerns with China's president about indirect support for Russia's war effort. Another round of student loan relief.
The president announcing $7.4 billion in student loan forgiveness. Now, this is changes to current plans that have already taken place here.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence at the White House. The president also wants to extend relief to some 30 million Americans under his SAVE plan, which several Republican-led states are challenging. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Wanting to protect personal info, 59 degrees, rainy on the Circle. Low temps down to the mid-40s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox for Lake City Bank. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Terminated pregnancy reports contained personal info, which is why the Democrat candidate for Attorney General says they should stay private. Donnie Burgess reports.
Releasing abortion records would uphold Indiana laws, says Attorney General Todd Rokita. But his opponent, Destiny Wells, says it's a scare tactic that puts people at risk.
I side with the opinion of the public access counselor, Luke Britt, in that we have so few abortions happening now in Indiana that you can use those reports and glean information.
She says it's unnecessary and will drive more doctors out of Indiana. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 people were found with gunshot wounds in Indianapolis on the north side Thursday night. One of them a teenage boy. The other was a man who walked into a hospital. He's alive but seriously hurt. IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer thinks that the incidents could be connected.
The biggest thing that helps us is people that have seen it or can tell us. Even if it's like, hey, I saw somebody running away from the area or a vehicle driving away.
Weilhammer says if you are one of those people, give the cops a call. They could use your help. Rain this week. It's caused plenty of flooding problems in Indianapolis. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey says it was about 3.5 inches total.
It's now put us into a point where we're just shy of 6 inches of rainfall for the month of April. That is now the wettest start to the month we've ever had on record.
Bailey says it'll likely stay windy today. Someone in Indy bought a Hoosier Lottery Powerball ticket that won them $100,000. John Hiverick reports.
That ticket was purchased at Madhar Petroleum on Southeastern Avenue. It matched 4 out of 5 numbers along with the Powerball. It also benefited from a power play. The winning numbers were 6, 7, 12, 24, and 36 with a Powerball of 15. Powerball overall odds are 1 in 25. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
People everywhere are binge watching their money. Now streaming on Lake City Bank Digital. When checking Met Savings.
Together we make so much sense.
Also featuring The Day the Spending Stopped.
Sometimes saving money just feels so right.
And the incredible shrinking debt.
Honey, come look. Our loan balance is so tiny.
Plus, adventures of the penny pincher.
My journey has not been an easy one, but my budget is going to survive.
Watch new episodes of Your Money unfold every day. Now streaming on Lake City Bank Digital. Learn more at lakecitybank.com/digital. Member FDIC.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic to downtown from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 loaded up from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. On the east side, northbound 465 slows from Penn Pike up to 71st, and southbound 465 slow in pockets from I-70 down to south at Shadeland Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Direct Auto. Don't let your expensive car insurance compromise how you get around. Stop compromising. Keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Rain will diminish by tonight with skies turning mostly clear as lows fall into the low 40s. Then for Saturday, we're in for a much warmer and nicer day with lots of sunshine as highs pushed into the mid-upper 60s with dry time. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters?
Hey, man, some new numbers out on the economy, Hammer, and it's good news.
All right.
Good news.
Tell me good news.
Just kidding. It's a kick in the taint.
Oh.
Turns out that, what do they call it, the Inflation Reduction Act? Didn't exactly do crap.
But the good news is everything's transitory, right? At least that's what I was told 3.5 years ago.
Janet Yellen, transitory inflation. No. The exact opposite. And since 2021, the average family has lost $23,760, paying for the increased cost of living under Bidenomics. That's according to the Joint Economic Committee, right? The Inflation Reduction Act was a joke. Billions of they spent, just think back before you get to some of these numbers. That package included $369 billion alone in new spending to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
So what you're saying...
What are we getting in return?
Is that our government has been frivolous with our dollars? This is my shocked face. I can't believe it. So since 2021... the average family has lost $23,760 because of Joe Biden's clueless plan on the economy. And if you break it down into categories here, that's $4,170 more on energy, $3,000 more on food, almost $4,000 more on shelter, and about $8,500 on transportation.
Yeah, but,
Bidenomics, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but look, man, it was like a total of almost $1 trillion. It was $891 billion. Inflation Reduction Act. Just keep on remembering that, and then just listen to our conversation we're going to have with John Carney, economics editor for Breitbart. It's not working. Those numbers that you just spouted off were unbelievable.
Remember during the debates when Joe Biden kept saying, all of these scholars and all of these economists, they've said this is going to work. Every single one of those folks need to be fired because whoever these lunatics were didn't know their backside from a hole in the ground. So, speaking of paying more money, tax day is Monday. Allison, cue up the band.
IRS will get you if you don't report your money. So declare all of your earnings, cause an audit won't be funny. If there's cash under your mattress, don't think they won't find out, cause they'll monitor your phone calls and hack into your account.
Liza!
The IRS will get you if you don't report your money. So declare all of your earnings, cause an audit won't be funny. If you hide your savings in an offshore bank far away, you could land in prison getting sodomized each day.
Oh! E!
Wow.
Now remember, this is the administration that They told you we need more IRS agents. And it's not because they're going after the millionaires to pay their fair share. They're going after you. They're going after middle class because you're the ones that are going to pay for all of their Green New Deal bullcrap. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
And a new study shows that in their lifetime, the average American will pay $525,000 in taxes. That's your average middle class family in America in their lifetime, $500,000, Nige.
There's a dark, evil side of me that wishes that could only dream of paying more than that because it means I'm making a whole hell of a lot of money. Does that make sense to you? Like if I'm making millions of dollars, I'm going to be paying more than, $500,000 in my lifetime. But that sucks because it's probably not going to happen.
That
$500,000?
That includes things like sales tax and property tax, which, oh, by the way, how's your property tax bill look? If you're living in Central Indy and you receive that property tax bill, how's that look? Please find out who your representative is and reach out to them. Send them a nice little email, send them a letter, call them and say, if you don't mind, could you, I don't know, do something and stop taxing the bejesus out of me? That'd be great.
We're going off the rails.
Again, tax day is Monday. So here at the Hammer and Nigel show, we want it to be topical. We understand that Beyonce has a really popular country song about Texas. Well, we thought, let's try to do the same thing about taxes.
Do my taxes, and I ain't happy.
Nope.
Can't wait until I'm done. Can't find no write-offs. The stupid tax form that I find dumb. I see the IRS taking money from me, so I had to hide some from 23. It's a great big risk, and I hope that they bought it. It's gonna be a bitch if I gotta get an artist. Damn!
Little something from Hammer and Nigel Records right there for you.
Impressive.
The Wall Street Journal, they've got a story that says the hack or the trick to a great marriage is going on vacations without your significant other. You do that?
Not normally. I did go to the Waste Management Open for a couple of days with my buddies the last minute last month out in Phoenix. And Lindsay, yes, she did take a vacation with her buddies out to, where did she go? She went to Cabo.
So that's a yes.
So I guess it's a yes, but I find myself, if I'm away from my family for more than a couple days, I just find myself wanting to get back to them.
Right.
Is that kind of too mushy or too...
No.
Does that make sense?
Did Lindsay feel the same way?
I don't think so.
Was she ready to stay in Cabo?
She was having a very enjoyable time in Cabo. I've been places with my buddies before, and after 3 or 4 days, I'm ready to get home to my family.
And I think most people are like you. I do. I think I'm in the minority. I have never been on a trip since I've been married without my wife or my kids.
You and Crystal haven't gone anywhere?
I mean, I've never gone solo. I haven't done an individual thing. I've never gone somewhere by myself, for a dude's weekend or just to hang out or whatever. Yeah. I've either had Crystal with me or the boys with me, and I've never done that before.
Well, Lindsay and I are getting ready to take a trip next month without the kids, and that's tough, because we don't normally do that at all. And by the end of the trip, we're ready to get back to our kids.
If you're looking for a reason to drink, or in this case, eat tonight, happy National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day, everybody.
All right.
Again, grilled cheese is something that, you eat a lot as a kid, and for whatever reason, you stop eating it when you get older, and I don't know why, because they are delicious.
Let me just see how you make yours. Let's compare. Butter on both pieces of bread, put the butter face down on the pan, let it simmer, put the cheese, Velveeta. One thing of Velveeta, square.
I think you can go 2, but that's okay.
My kids usually like just one, and then another bread on top. When the bottom gets brown, you just flip it over, and that's as simple as that.
Yeah, I love we're sitting here comparing these recipes we're some high-end restaurant. Yeah, Emerald Lagazi here is telling me the intricacies of making a grilled cheese. Now, what I like to do with this, get some garnishes out. No, you put the butter on it, you put it in the pan, you flip it, grilled cheese. Now, if you want to take it next level, you could go Mr. Mom. Remember, get the ironing board out and do it with the iron.
Yes, sure.
Here's a little grilled cheese tribute featuring Elmer Fudd.
Grilled cheese. I hope you're ready, 'cause we got a date. I just can't wait to get home and put you on my plate.
Nice.
Grilled cheese sandwich. I think I'm gonna make another grilled cheese, if you please.
I so want a freaking grilled cheese sandwich right now.
Grilled cheese, if you please.
Matt Bear.
All right, Hammer, looking at the east side, southbound 465, stop and go traffic from 70 down to Arlington Avenue, then southbound 65 slows. MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 loaded from Belmont to the south, a split and a crash downtown. It's Ohio College. Traffic sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Get a great deal this spring on a new Train Heating and Cooling System. Train systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a train. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we got the sun finally trying to peek through the clouds. It's 57 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and don't go anywhere. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some laughs. Is this anything? Next.
My wife and I love Diamonds Direct. I'm at Keystone at the Crossing. Bought her a pair of diamond stud earrings for her birthday, and they made it so easy. And if you're ready to make this spring one to remember, it's that time again for Diamonds Direct's annual spring sale event. You can get 20% off. That's right, 20% off virtually everything in their showroom. And that's going on now through April 21st.
And right now, when you make an appointment to shop at Diamonds Direct, you can also get $100 off your next purchase. Go see your favorite diamond expert. Save even more at the big annual spring sale at Diamonds Direct. An incredible 20% off right now. Diamonds Direct, they already have the biggest selection, the lowest prices, and the best staff. And now, check out the annual spring sale. If you're thinking about popping the question, this is the time to shop. DiamondsDirect.com, or stop by and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Now if you're heading on home or you're taking a getaway, well, there's so much to see at the crossroads of the USA.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Raju, Raju, shades of red, white, and blue. Guarding dreams for all, he believes in you.
Raju Chinthala is a healthcare professional, a successful businessman, and a community leader with experience. Raju is ready to be your next congressman in the 5th District. Raju for you.
Raju, Raju, shades of red, white, and blue.
Raju is a family man ready to represent your family with Hoosier values. And he's a man of action, ready to get things done. Vote for Raju Chinthala, Republican 5th District Congress.
Raju, Raju, shades of red, white, and blue. Guarding dreams for all, he believes in you.
I'm Raju Chintala, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Raju for Congress.
Waiting on a tax return? Hopefully it ends up in your hands. Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues. And all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Help protect your information this tax season with LifeLock. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Let Bill Estes put you behind the wheel of the powerhouse brands that define American toughness. Ford, Chevy, Ram, and GMC.
Get 2.9% APR for 72 months on all GMC Sierra 1500s, plus $2,000 customer cash on 6.2-liter Sierra Denali's.
Unleash the power of the road with Bill Estes Trucks. Find a location near you and see their inventory at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Financing for well-qualified buyers. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. See dealer for details.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I will run some back page stories by you. These aren't the headlines. These are some things buried on the back page.
All right.
You break down all the information and give us a verdict. Is the story in question really anything or not? I think I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to run it by you anyway. There's a new term that's trending on social media.
Yes.
After a cookbook author coined it. She would eat a lot of fiber. She'd go on a regular walk. She calls it a fart walk. She coined the term fart walk in the book. She does these walks to help get things moving. Here is author Marilyn Smith.
About 60 minutes after we've eaten, we put on our running shoes and off we go. Now, why do we do this? Well, we eat a lot of fiber, so we have gas. Everybody does. And, you fart when you walk. So that's why I named it that. But the main reason that we do the fart walks is because by walking for as little as 2 minutes, we usually walk for about 10, 15, 20, but not really quickly. It's more of a moderate walk. We are helping reduce our chances of developing type 2 diabetes. So, sign yourself up for fart walks.
Can you reduce your chances from type 2 diabetes by just going on a regular walk? Does it have to be a fart walk?
I mean, I guess you could,
That's the last thing I want to do after a meal is go for a walk, because I don't want to be caught, a half a mile down the rail trail in Zionsville and then all of a sudden have something brewing down there.
Right.
And have to, duck into the woods.
Remember, we had that story from New Jersey where the school superintendent, he would have a big breakfast and he'd go for a run around the school and he would drop trow right there.
In a competing school.
They called him the pooperintendent.
Yeah, right. No, thank you. This is nothing. The fart walk is the dumbest thing I really have ever heard of.
I have that walk every morning when I wake up and just go to the can.
Right. I mean, it's pretty simple. From the bed to the bathroom, that's the fart walk. No, this is ridiculous. But we are going to celebrate this trend, Hammer.
Okay.
I want everybody to get ready. Hammer and Nigel Records. We've done a remix. Here's Destiny's Child's gassy version of Sesame Street's I've Got a New Way to Walk.
Oh, come on.
I got a new way to walk, and my new walk suits me fine.
There you go.
Okay!
The remix version of Destiny Child Sesame Street's I've Got a New Way to Walk.
Allison, how do you feel about your career path right now? Feel like you've made the right decisions to be on this show, Allison?
I will say I do love these stories. They're good.
Is this anything?
I don't feel good about my career path at all.
Mike Pence used to sit in this chair.
I used to break wind in that chair.
He had his own fart walks. Is this anything? The owner of a bakery in Kansas is asking customers to eat their cookies very carefully because she lost a $4,000 diamond ring in the dough. It was in the dough that was made last Friday, and it still hasn't been found. Here is Dawn Monroe from the bakery talking about losing her $4,000 rock.
I looked down at my hand and the center diamond is gone, banging the bowls and the pans. We kind of went back to the kitchen and looked around. I was crying, and all he could say is, "You still have me." That made it all better. It's 36 years on this hand, but I would definitely make it worth your while bringing it back.
Does she win it back if it's been passed? Because there's certainly a chance the diamond fell in a cookie and somebody took a bite of that cookie, but the diamond went down whole,
right,
and is in their stool. She's asking people to look through the cookies, like, hey, make sure that if you bought cookies in the past week, just look through the cookies. I'd be asking people to, hey, could you examine your stool after you make a movement?
So let me ask you this serious question. Let's say you had cookies from this place,
right, and
you just heard the story.
Yeah,
you check your toilet and you think there may be a diamond in there. Do you go and get it?
I'd have to think long and hard about the reward.
Allison,
she said she'd make
if you thought you could grab a $4,000 diamond,
she doesn't want to answer this question,
from a turd, would you reach down and get it?
I retract my statement about enjoying the show earlier.
I'm not examining. So you're saying if I happen to know, I don't look at my...
No, but if you lived in this area and you just heard the story, oh my God, that's the place where I get my cookies. I just ate a bunch. And then you realize you got to go to the can and you look down at your work and you see maybe something shiny.
I don't normally look at my work.
Oh, you're full of crap.
I do not, literally.
You're full of crap.
Hey-oh, is that a pun?
George Carlin once said there are some people that lie, there are some people that are full of crap. Right now, you're full of crap. You can't tell me you don't sit down and see the work.
I don't. I usually immediately flush after it's been released.
Lion Nige. Call him Lion Nige. Is this anything? Speaking of poo, someone in San Francisco.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Got footage of a tow truck driver trying to tow a car at a stoplight.
Wait, what?
Someone in San Francisco got video footage of a tow truck driver trying to tow a car at a stoplight with two people inside of the car.
You can't do that.
They had to back up so he didn't lift them off the ground.
Back up, Terry.
What are you doing?
Yeah, after a couple attempts, the guy just sped off on a yellow light. This is something, I mean, like, you could be, okay, here's the deal. This company's called Specialty Towing. The city canceled their contracts with them because they'd been illegally towing parked cars and basically holding them for ransom. And so they took it up a level. Hey, we'll just tow somebody at a stoplight. We're going to back right in while they're stopped. People are in the car, there's passengers, and we're still going to tow you.
I mean, that's like some A-team kind of stuff.
Right. Obviously, some people think the driver should be charged with attempted kidnapping.
Case could be made.
You ever been towed?
No.
I did. We were towed outside one of our original Ugly Monkey podcasts, the Hammer and Nigel show, the original iteration of the Hammer and Nigel show. I parked in the wrong spot and
got towed?
Got towed, yeah, and we had to... I mean, there's a sign right there, told us where to go, what to do. Is like $150.
Wow.
And it took us like an hour to get it. Sucked.
I've had vehicles towed after car accidents and stuff, but never because I parked in the wrong spot. Wow. Coming up next, man, I'm excited for this. Travis is here from Hotel Tango Distillery.
He is the tango in Hotel Tango.
Yes, he puts the tango in the Hotel Tango. He's going to join us. We'll talk about the awesome event we've got coming up and this bourbon they got. I think it's perfect for this audience. We're going to talk about that next.
Wondering when to plant grass seed for ideal results? Wondering who has the best lawn products? Well, now is the time, and great lawn starts with Jonathan Green products. Hey, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. And like Sullivan Hardware and Garden, Jonathan Green is a family-owned and operated business. Jonathan Green has only premium quality Black Beauty grass seed, soil foods, and fertilizers to ensure that you achieve noticeably better results results on your lawn. By making your work easier and delivering an impressive lawn, Jonathan Green Products will turn your lawn into a green space to be enjoyed with family and friends. Black Beauty seed mixtures are sold at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Improve your lawn with Jonathan Green. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Congresswoman Sparks will be ready for your interview soon.
It seems pretty intense in there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Maybe I'll take some time before the interview to Google Victoria Sparks and learn a little more about her. Whoa. Have you seen this article?
One aide calling the lawmakers' workplace behavior manic?
Victoria Sparks was #1 on Legistorm's list of worst bosses based on high turnover rates.
Says she, quote, avoided firing aides and instead bullied them until they left.
And the story is based on interviews with half a dozen former staffers.
Yikes. Sparks called staff morons and idiots.
Get this. Victoria Sparks says her working style is, quote, not for everyone.
Well, it's not for me. I think I'll pass on this interview.
I'm Chuck Goodrich. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go with Chuck Goodrich Committee.
Denny Smith here for Sundown Gardens in Westfield. The tropicals are here for you and ready to sell, and the nursery is so well stocked in Westfield and certainly ready for you to shop. Sundown Gardens is ready to beautify your garden and yard this spring. Enjoy the spring weather and plan a trip to Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. Flowers, trees, shrubs, mulch, and more. Sundown Gardens in Westfield has it. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, just west of Grand Park. Follow them on social media for daily updates at sundown.gardens.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She doesn't agree with it. Mostly cloudy, 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Some very scattered showers around your radar. Low of 43 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Indiana's Attorney General believes abortion records should be made public.
His Democrat opponent disagrees. I'm Donnie Burgess.
This really goes to using fear tactics of scaring doctors out of providing care, which we have seen out of Rakita's office since the beginning of this conversation started.
Attorney General candidate Destiny Wells says releasing abortion records would put privacy at risk. She says the only thing Todd Rakita would accomplish is further hurting the healthcare field.
The damage has been done over the last couple of years, and it's going to be a while before we can get out of this.
Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A teenage boy was found with a gunshot wound in the northwest side of Indianapolis Thursday night. He was pronounced dead at around the same time. Another man walked into a hospital. He'd also been shot. He's alive but badly hurt.
That could be connected, and so that could help give us an idea of what went on out here and possibly apprehend the suspect or suspects.
IMPD Captain Donna Wildhammer says any help from witnesses in the case would be appreciated. The U.S. military preparing for a possible Iranian strike on Israel, reports Fox's Jared Halpern.
U.S. intelligence agencies believe there is still a viable threat to Israel from Iran, but White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby declined to comment on reports of an imminent attack.
We're watching this very, very, very closely.
Kirby says military commanders are having discussions with Israeli counterparts and looking at U.S. force posture in the region.
As always, we're doing everything we can to protect our people and our facilities.
But Kirby says the threat from Iran is directed at Israel. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
3.5 inches of rain in the last 3 days in the capital city, says Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It's now put us into a point where we're just shy of 6 inches of rainfall for the month of April. That is now the wettest start to the month we've ever had on record.
He says there's a chance for more severe weather, but not until next week. You're paying an average of $3.63 for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, says GasBuddy.com. That's right where the national average is. At a tough day on the market, the Dow down by 475 to 37,983. The NASDAQ also down by 267 to 16,175. The S&P 500 down as well to close out the week by 75 points, finishing at 5,123. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
But I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. In Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and Carmel. 317-559-PAIN.
And with traffic at 4:35, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, on the east side, southbound 465 at a stop at I-70. And then that delay continues from Washington Street down to 74 and to Arlington Avenue there in the southbound lanes of 465 on the east side. Northbound 65 out of the north split stop and go up to 21st Street. Southbound 65 stop and go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn. And eastbound 70 slow to downtown from Holt Road into Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road on North Shadeland, online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Rain will diminish by tonight with skies turning mostly clear as lows fall into the low 40s. Then for Saturday, we're in for a much warmer and nicer day with lots of sunshine as highs pushed to the mid-upper 60s with dry time. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Yeah. What up? This is Dr. Dre. The party's going on. Thank God it's Friday.
Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer over there. Tales from the Track. Woo! That is at the Stutz Building May 20th, featuring Indy 500 winner Scott Dixon.
Got a ticket notification earlier today. 34% of all the tickets have been sold out already. So
it's not sold out. Have been sold.
Have been sold.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So 200 tickets I think are available. And already, man, we're putting a hurting on this thing. So if you want to go, if you got paid today, buy your tickets at the events page at WIBC.com. We've also got the links pinned to the top of our social media.
And providing the spirits for Tales of the Track, Hotel Tango Distillery. We are joined live in studio by the Tango in Hotel Tango, Travis Barnes, the owner and operator of Hotel Tango. How are you, sir? Welcome.
I'm great. Thank you guys so much for having us and letting us be a part of it.
No, please. Thank you. You have brought some samples here with you. I love the idea. Now, I've had your vodka ready to go. Or I'm sorry, it's called ready to drink, the
Yes,
vodka.
sir.
Now, here in my mind, and I want to get to the backstory of Hotel Tango and your story because it's amazing. It's an unbelievable story. But in my mind, all these things you say, like ready to drink. It says ready to drink on all your bottles. The vodka, in my mind, it's ready to drink because you don't need to do anything to it. You don't need to add anything to it. You don't even need a cup. It's ready to drink because it is so good.
Nigel takes it as a challenge.
You drink it from the bottle. Now, I'm not some degenerate that does that all the time, but in my mind, that's what ready to drink means.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Does that resonate with you at all as the creator and the owner?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of play off of meals ready to eat from my time in the Marine Corps.
Yes.
And that's really what it's about, is you don't need to add anything else to this. It's ready to go right out of the bottle.
And you are going to specifically be providing the red, white, and bourbon ready to drink at this event of Tales from the Track, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We're very proud of this partnership, the Red, White, and Bourbon that we've done for the last couple of years with the American Legion Be the One campaign, which is to help fight veteran suicide.
So tell us, how did we get this red, white, and bourbon? What type of sample are we going to have here? What's it like?
Yeah, so this is our 2-year-old flagship bourbon. You're going to get notes of caramel, a little bit of rye. It's a blend between our wheated and our rye blends. So it's very smooth, sippable, kind of my favorite, my go-to, the back porch sipping.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh, you tasted it without me?
So
Come on,
good.
here. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers to Hotel Tango, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers, guys.
And your backstory, you mentioned.
That's incredible.
A little bit earlier. It's an amazing story. Briefly, take us through, how you came up through the ranks and why you decided to do this.
My backstory, I think like a lot of guys, I was in my first year of college in 2001, 9/11 happened. I dropped out of school, enlisted in the Marine Corps, got selected for Marine Recon.
I mean, right there, stop right there. I don't think you should just talk over that. You dropped out of school because you felt like you wanted to help your country.
Yeah, I certainly had the calling, I guess, as a lot of the guys that I've served with did, that there were just, I think a collective conscience at that time in the United States of like, I got to do something.
Military background in your family?
A few folks, but not. I certainly was not a pedigree military family by any means.
Wow.
No.
So you joined the Marine Corps and went to Iraq.
Yeah, so I got to do 3 tours. I was there in the initial push in 2003, and then 2 follow-on tours in Fallujah and Ramadi. So
Fallujah, wow.
It's beautiful this time of year.
I'm sure you've got some stories that you can tell your buddies from time to time from the things you've been able to
Probably
see in your
stories
life.
you don't want to talk about.
Right. But the things you've taken from your time in the military, you've kind of applied that to your business model, right? Because what we're doing here with this red, white, and bourbon, it still helps people.
Absolutely. I'm humbled and blessed and very proud to be a part of the Red, White, and Bourbon campaign from kind of a national standpoint with the American Legion. But we also do a lot of local things here with HVAF, helping veterans and families. That anytime we can give back to veteran causes, it's an easy play for us.
So were you a whiskey drinker, a fan of whiskey? I mean, had you ever, distilled your own product before any of this?
You're not the cops, are you?
No.
So yeah, I was doing.
Have
it in
you
the back.
experimented with it before this?
I was into brewing. I was into kind of messing around in the backyard and giving it away as birthday and Christmas presents. And folks were like, "Man, this is really good." And at the same time, the legislation was changing in Indiana for the first time since Prohibition.
Yeah.
And my wife and I jumped on the opportunity, and we've been off and running. It'll be 10 years this year.
And Hillary is the hotel.
Hillary,
in Hotel Tango.
She
it's
certainly is.
What do they call that? The phonetic something?
Yeah, phonetic alphabet. So Alpha,
Yes.
Bravo, Charlie, H is hotel, T is tango, W is whiskey. So that's how we got there.
And you're the T in tango.
I certainly am.
And you guys are going to be there for Tales from the Track. This is coming up the week of the race, the Monday of race week, May 20th, over at the Stutz Building, Vision Loft. And anybody that comes by, I don't know if you'll have a booth or a table or whatever it is, you guys are going to have some of this bourbon available, right?
Absolutely. And you'll also be able to find it out in the market. So if you see the red, white, and bourbon label, just know that
everywhere.
So the proceeds will go back to supporting the American Legion and the Be the One campaign.
When did you know, okay, so your family said, man, you should kind of put this out there and do this full time. Was that the moment that, and then, there had to have been a moment where Hotel Tango, you started the company and it was small. When did it start to just explode?
Sometimes it feels like...
Was it a slow burn or was it just a snap of a finger kind of thing?
It really depends. On how you look at it. I think that it's always been a steady growth over the 10 years. But we're distributed in 26 states. We're in 120 military bases. We're 6 countries with the U.S. Navy. So there's been incremental, but then there's been some big leaps in there as well.
And when did you really get this rolling?
So we opened our doors here in downtown Indianapolis in the fall of 2014. And then from there, we just entered distribution and the military channels and really have kind of built on that throughout for the last 10 years.
So how hard was getting through COVID when everybody was shutting down and at the early stages, I'm sure there were some panic moments.
I think the liquor industry probably kind of wasn't affected by that from what I understand.
True.
Yeah, it was a weird year. We actually became a hand sanitizer company for about 90 days. So
a lot of places did, yeah.
Completely shut down the spirit side of it, and we just had so many requests for hand sanitizer around the country that we really focused on that and we wanted to jump in and help where we could, and that was where we saw the opportunity.
Dude, I spent so much money on booze during COVID. I'm a guy that spends money on booze anyway, right? But boy, during COVID,
thank you.
When it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Michael Jordan always took his game up a notch.
Sure.
During COVID, man, boy, I did some drinking.
You certainly weren't alone. So,
I just love the aspect that this is a local thing. You're a Hoosier, you're born and bred,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, you grew up in the Northeast?
Yep, Noble County, Paris of the Midwest, and then came down here for law school. That's where I met my wife, and we started the business while we were in school, and been.
And you're global.
Living the dream, man.
Well, one thing we were talking about before we came on the air was how loyal the WIBC audience is. So I'm telling you, our audience, they're loyal and they're drinkers. So tell us where they can get this bourbon, this red, white, and bourbon that helps out, some of the bravest men and women in our country, helps out the American Legion, because I'm telling you, they're going to go out and buy some.
I mean, really, we're trying to get this wherever fine spirits are sold. But yeah, the Legion, VFW, Big Red, Crown, Meyer, Kroger. I mean, there's a lot of people are participating in it this year. So ask for it by name, but look for it wherever you get a chance.
Ready to drink, baby.
Yeah, it's got a cool label on it. Nigel, hold it up one more time for the YouTube crowd. It's kind of got the American flag type design on it. And they will be at our event, Tales from the Track, May 20th. Scott Dixon is our special guest. And, man, I'm excited for it. Thank you guys so much for partnering with us.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
On a map, the southern border is 1,000 miles away. But that's not how it feels to my family. I grew up in a blue-collar home in Richmond. My dad was a factory worker. He was laid off twice. Not because the factory was doing poorly, but because it was cheaper to move those jobs across the border. I'm Jameson Carrier. Today, it's not what's leaving across the border that's devastating our families, it's what's coming in. And once again, it's personal. My wife and I lost our son Joey to fentanyl, a tragedy that's become far too common. To President Biden, secure the border is just a talking point. But to our family, it's life and death. I'm Jameson Carrier. I'm a business owner, a native Hoosier, and a Trump Republican. And we can't wait another day to secure our border and put Americans first. I'm Jameson Carrier, and I approve this message.
Jameson Carrier for Congress. Paid for by Carrier for Congress, Inc.
Hi, honey. Mom, I'm glad you figured out the video call. What's all that noise?
Oh, that. Your room will soon be a fitness studio.
My room? What?
Yeah, it's the home equity line of credit from Lake City Bank. The low fixed rate is helping us get things checked off our list. Oh, honey, the hot tub is here.
The what? Mom?
Use Lake City Bank's home equity line of credit for anything you need, even hot tubs. Learn more at lakecitybank.com or visit a branch near you. Subject to credit approval and equal housing lender.
Talking on the phone is difficult if you've been exposed to loud noises over time. Combat veterans, factory workers, farmers, gun and motorcycle enthusiasts can have trouble hearing on the telephone. Relay Indiana helps return clarity to your phone conversations. A free service providing telecom accessibility, Relay Indiana allows hard of hearing users to have normal phone conversations through specially trained relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free loaned equipment to those who qualify. Get the CapTel caption telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Usually when I go to Jay's Lobster and Fish Market, it's right there in the Garage Food Hall in the Bottle Works District downtown. I'm all about the lobster rolls. But, man, they've got this new hot honey fried lobster roll that is absolutely mouth-watering. Oh, by the way, don't sleep on Palavana Cubano, the Cuban sandwich restaurant right there in the Garage Food Hall.
Whatever the case, Palavana Cubano is the perfect destination for anyone who loves delicious food and a great atmosphere. Palavana Cubano, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
Eligible members can select a plan now. Call 87 Pathway 4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
St. Louis brought the world gooey butter cake. Now Bluebell brings us gooey butter cake ice cream. A cake batter ice cream with a luscious cream cheese swirl and gooey butter cake pieces. It's the gateway to the best in pints and half gallons.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Man, this red, white, and bourbon is so good. Like, again, you guys got to go get some of this stuff tonight. It goes for a great cause. They're sponsoring our event coming up in May 20th.
Hotel Tango.
But man, this stuff is really good. All right, Matt Bear, how are the roads?
Looking at the north side, crash westbound 465 before Michigan Road. And the left lane is blocked, stopping traffic back to Meridian. On the east side, southbound 465 completely jammed after Penn Pike down to I-70. Westbound 72 downtown, slow from Merle Street through the north split and onto northbound 65 up to 21st Street. Southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic before 21st into Meridian Penn. Eastbound 72 downtown, it's slow. Tibbs Avenue to Meridian, Illinois. This is a crash southbound Bluff Road after Sumner and a crash downtown Ohio at College. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road on North Shadeland. Online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Again, as of this morning, we had sold almost 70 tickets for our Tales from the Track event. Only 200 tickets are going to be sold. So if you want to go to this event, such an awesome event for Indy 500 fans, don't wait. Get your tickets right now. The events page of WIBC.com, but we've also got that link pinned to the top of our Facebook and Twitter. Get your tickets right now. 59 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
1, 2, 3, let's go! You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Interesting developments. The Delphi murder trial that's forthcoming. A possible confession. We'll tell you more about that after 5 o'clock. Hammer, you remember last year I was sort of complaining. I'm a big hot sauce guy. I know you are too, but like sriracha, it's on everything. I put sriracha on everything. My Cheerios, you know. But there's a sriracha shortage. And I was having to buy like the generic Kroger version, and I fully blame Joe Biden for that.
Was the Kroger version anywhere near what you normally would get?
No. But here's the thing. People had to find substitutes. And I think they started going elsewhere. I think you went to Frank's, didn't you?
I became a Frank's guy.
Frank's hot sauce, Frank's Red Hot is the bomb.
It is really good. That's my favorite. This study, this report from Instacart say that depending on the region you live in, the hot sauce of choice may be different. So while sriracha was a little short last year, the adjustments were made. And if you lived in the Northeast or parts of the Midwest, Frank's Red Hot was number one. Now, in the South, Louisiana hot sauce and Texas Pete, they were big down in the South. Indiana falls into the category of the East with Frank's, but
I like Louisiana hot sauce. I don't prefer it over sriracha or Frank's, but Louisiana is really good. I don't know that I've had, what did you say, Texas Pete?
Texas Pete. And out west, there's a brand called Tapatio. Am I saying that right? Tapatio.
Oh, I've had Texas Pete. Yeah, but I don't know what and I don't know what the one you're talking about, Tapatio.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but yeah, I love a good hot sauce. I love hot wings. Chili can't be hot enough.
I know Tapatio. Yeah, I know what that is too. They have that in some Mexican restaurants.
It's not just like the, wings and stuff. Like I want my chili to burn my face off.
Sure. What else would I put it on? Just like I put it on my eggs.
Yes, I'm with you. Mexican food is a given. But yeah, eggs. Make some eggs in the morning. Put some of the hot sauce on there. Give it a little kick.
I will sprinkle each individual. I'll go to a Mexican restaurant and then, they give you a basket of chips or a tortilla or, chips, tortilla chips, I guess is what I'm saying. And I will dip it in the salsa and then sprinkle an individual drop or two of the sriracha or whatever, Cholula. I can't believe Cholula's not on there.
Yeah, I mean, it may be on the list, but in terms of the number one for each area of the country, it didn't make number one. So coming up in about an hour from now, again, we got a jam-packed 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Donnie Burgess from the newsroom's got that Delphi story that Nigel was talking about. And then at 5:30, one of our favorites, John Carney of Breitbart.
Yes.
He's really going to dive into some of these numbers that came out this past week about inflation and what that means for you. And most importantly, is it going to get any better based on who wins the presidency? We're going to talk about all that. But then it's also the debut of the beer bong.
No.
The beer bong that I bought in Florida down on my little spring break.
Come on.
From Destin. Beer Sample Friday. So about, 5:48-ish, right around that time, that's when we're going to break out the beer bong. You're going to do one. I'm going to do one. We're all going to do one.
All right.
That's all coming up. Don't go anywhere. A loaded 5 o'clock hour. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, Hammer Nigel here for Window Nation. And, we realize you might hear some of the other offers from competing window companies. So why would you choose Window Nation over the rest? I'm here to tell you why. Because Window Nation, it's all about paying attention to detail. You should have seen the job they did on my house. They measured my windows 3 times to ensure proper fit. And they have a 96% customer satisfaction rating, so they get the job done right the first time. Plus, they got a killer deal going on right now. Dial 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And if that isn't enough, how about this? On top of that deal, you pay nothing, nada, 0 for 2 full years. No payments, no interest, nothing for 2 years. If you've been thinking about getting new windows, now is the time. At least start the conversation. Talk to the experts at Window Nation, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com, but you got to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
A broken border, corrupt politicians, and the rise of communist China. We don't need leaders who will surrender. We need America First conservative Mike Speedy. Mike Speedy endorses President Trump and will join him to fix our border once and for all. Mike Speedy will fight the woke leftists to guarantee life and liberty. Speedy has a track record of fighting and winning. Mike Speedy is the only candidate in the GOP primary with both an A+ rating from the NRA and the endorsement of Indiana Right to Life. Speedy is the conservative who beat the abortion lobby, voting to make Indiana pro-life in the post-Roe v. Wade era. Mike Speedy also voted to ban sanctuary cities and voted to guarantee our right to constitutional carry. Mike Speedy, America First conservative for Congress. Vote Republican Mike Speedy in Indiana's 6th Congressional on or before May 7th.
I'm Mike Speedy. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
The greatest American rock and roll band in history, Aerosmith, present Peace Out, the Farewell Tour. Aerosmith, with special guest the Black Crowes. Cambridge Fieldhouse, January 16, 2025. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Aerosmith with the Black Crowes, the Farewell Tour. Peace out.
Your local news coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
President Lisa Brady, Fox News. Police in Texas say a tractor-trailer crash into a government building earlier today west of Houston was intentional. At least 14 people injured. One has since died.
Officials say a man who has been identified as 42-year-old Clennard Parker stole an 18-wheeler from a nearby town and then gave chase to police before they say he intentionally drove that tractor trailer right through the DPS office front door. The suspect then reportedly backed the vehicle up out of the building. When officers moved in, pulled him out of a vent window and made the arrest.
Fox's Casey Stiegel. Investigators say the suspect was out for revenge a day after being denied a commercial driver's license. President Biden says Iran will not succeed and that the U.S. is devoted to the defense of Israel. Amid reports Iran could attack Israel soon.
President Biden says his message to Iran threatening to take military action against Israel is don't. The U.S. and Israel are preparing for Iran to retaliate against Israel for an airstrike that killed 2 senior members of Iran's Revolutionary Guard in Syria. Israel has not publicly claimed responsibility for the attack. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby calling the Iranian threat viable. The Defense Department moving additional assets to the Middle East to bolster regional deterrence efforts and increase force protection for U.S. forces.
Fox's Christine Goodwin. Police in Memphis in mourning after what's described as an unprovoked attack when officers responded to a suspicious vehicle call overnight. Police say the occupants opened fire, killing 1 officer, injuring 2 others.
2 teen suspects involved. 1 killed and returned fire, the other being treated. We're told one of them was arrested just weeks ago in a stolen car with a Glock switch that converts a semi-automatic weapon into a machine gun. He was charged with stealing 2 vehicles before a Memphis judge set him free without bond.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Flooding has been a problem. Mostly cloudy, 59 degrees downtown. Radar's clear, low temps to the 40s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. 3.5 inches of rain in the last 3 days, says Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It's now put us into a point where we're just shy of 6 inches of rainfall for the month of April. That is now the wettest start to the month we've ever had on records.
Bailey says there's a chance for severe weather next Tuesday and Wednesday. Indiana's Attorney General believes abortion records should be made public.
His Democrat opponent disagrees. I'm Donnie Burgess.
This really goes to using fear tactics of scaring doctors out of providing care, which we have seen out of Rakita's office since the beginning of this conversation started.
Attorney General candidate Destiny Wells says releasing abortion records would put privacy at risk. She says the only thing Todd Rakita would accomplish is further hurting the healthcare field.
The damage has been done over the last couple of years, and it's going to be a while before we can get out of this.
Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A teenage boy was shot and killed on the northwest side last night. Around the same time, a man showed up to a hospital having been shot.
That could be connected, and so that could help give us an idea of what went on out here and possibly apprehend the suspect or suspects.
IMPD Captain Don Wildhammer says that man's still alive. If you know anything about the shooting, IMPD would like a call. The funeral for Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry was this morning. Speaking on Henry's behalf was Steve McElhoe.
For over 40 years, Tom and I were best friends.
but we differed when it came to politics.
Henry was a Democrat while McElhoe was a Republican, but the two were close friends. Henry was the longest-serving mayor in Fort Wayne history. And the average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.63, according to GasBuddy.com. That's right where the national average is. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Guys, when she's ready, shouldn't you be ready too? There's good news. For 20 years, Boston Medical Group has delivered a simple and effective solution for ED, proven to work when all else has failed. It's ICP, also known as ED shots. ICP uses a custom blend of FDA-approved medications specifically formulated to restore healthy blood flow where you need it most. ICP works for 98% of men in just a few minutes, regardless of age or medical conditions. Previously acquired only by an in-person visit, our telemedicine platform now brings this virtually 100% effective solution to your doorstep nationwide. You can be ready for her with confidence. Call 800-940-2900. The first 100 patients will receive 10 extra doses of ICP medication for free when you sign up for a treatment program today. Call 800-940-2900. That's 800-940-2900. Or visit bostonmedicalgroup.com.
With traffic in the fives at 5:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, looking at the east side, a crash southbound 465 at I-70. The left lane is blocked, and traffic is stopped all the way back to East 56th Street. Stopped coming out of downtown towards the northwest side. Northbound 65 jammed up from the north split up to 21st. That's also slowing us down from Michigan Street. Westbound 70 stop and go to the north split from rural. Northbound 465 on the northwest side. Stop and go traffic from 79th up to 865. And an earlier crash has slowed westbound 465 on the north side from 31 over to Michigan Road 421. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Rain will diminish by tonight with skies turning mostly clear as lows fall into the low 40s. Then for Saturday, we're in for a much warmer and nicer day with lots of sunshine as highs pushed into the mid-upper 60s with dry time. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest in studio.
Donnie Burgess is from the WIBC newsroom. He covers the Delphi investigation and trial. So, Donnie, what have we learned about cameras in the courtroom? Because that's a big question as we get closer and closer to this trial beginning. Will the judge, Fran Gull, who in the past has been pretty in favor of cameras in the courtroom, is she going to allow that?
Well, I had a phone call with Judge Gall's staff this morning. We talked, and nothing is concrete yet, but the staff told me that she is leaning more towards not allowing any broadcast of this case whatsoever.
Whoa. What changed here?
So the staff told me her main concerns are putting jurors and witnesses on camera because of just the nature of the case. And also, they have now taken into account the size of the Carroll County Courthouse, which is very small. They are prioritizing family and witnesses and people involved in the case first, and media comes second, and which is leading to the limiting of how much media can go there. So that's where we are right now.
Man, listen, I'm all for keeping jurors safe. I think that's very important. But this is a trial that I think, personally, Nige, has to be out there. This has to be presented to the masses because there's so many questions going on right now. I just don't like the direction where this is going. I think that people need to see what's happening.
Correct. This is a national story and with much interest, but I'm concerned. Like with the death of O.J. Simpson yesterday, that was a circus. That trial with cameras in the courtroom was an absolute circus. And with the things that have been going on, then building up between the prosecution and the defense leading up to this trial, Donnie, it seems like it's been a back and forth. I don't want to say circus. I don't know if that's the correct word to use, but
It is such a fine.
You know what I'm getting at here?
It's such a fine line that has been blurred so much at this point. And what I'm referring to is the importance of, do you let media in or do you not? Because at one point you do not want to let this case get any closer to a circus than it already has been. At the last hearing, two guys in the hallway are fighting. Like, what are we doing here? But at the same time, that hearing had so many inaccuracies and missed details and misquotes that came out throughout the course of the day that were later corrected hours later. Once people have gone to bed, they've already been influenced, they've already read about it, and that's because there were no cameras, no audio feed. Reporters had pen and paper, and it's not a woe is me reporter thing. It's just it's trying to get the information out as quickly and accurately as possible, and that's the struggle. That's the balance here.
So how does this work when you cover a trial? Are you allowed to record anything, but you can use it later after, the court has adjourned for the day, or is it just pen and paper?
See, those it depends on case to case, but those are certain things like that. In the past, the October 19th Delphi hearing, cameras were allowed inside, but that was a delayed broadcast. The video and audio came out 15, 20 minutes later. But now this one is looking to be just pad and pen. Everyone's on the same playing field. You go in there, write it down, and you have to leave all electronics in the car. Like, you go stand in line and you've got nothing but pad, pen, and a smile on your face.
So you can't even live tweet what's going on?
No. Like, as of right now, no live tweeting, no smartwatches to try and sneak an update out there. This is as old school as it gets.
I got to be honest, I don't like it. I think you should at least be allowed to provide updates. If you don't want it broadcast live on television, all right, fine. Okay. I can listen to that argument. Enough. But let the media live tweet this thing. I don't think that's asking too much here. Donnie Burgess of the WIBC Newsroom joins us. Another thing that I've noticed the last couple of days, it seems like there are questions around this confession, I'm using air quotes there, confession that Richard Allen gave in his jail cell.
Yeah, and we've known about this for a while.
Yeah,
right?
So he is alleged, those words have to be used in this, that he confessed to the crime, and not just the crime, confessed to specific things while he was at Westville. And this was the prison that he was allowed to be transferred out of because of the conditions that he was being put through. And get this, there were guards with Odinism badges and tattoos there surrounding him the entire time.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's
a
whole nother thing.
Cult or whatever. Yeah.
His attorneys are saying that not only was he pressured mentally and physically intimidated to make statements, the statements that he specifically made do not line up with evidence from the case. He apparently admitted to shooting the girls and sexually assaulting them, and the autopsy reports do not support that at all. And
the autopsy shows they were butchered and stabbed.
Yes, and it also apparently shows that there were no sexual assaults of the girls. So he's admitting to things in prison that apparently do not line up with this case whatsoever. So that's why they're saying these admissions should not be in the courtroom.
So the defense is basically trying to say he was forced to do these kind of things, right?
Yeah, so they're saying, hey, he was locked up, he was chained up all day long, he was only given 4 hours of recreation time a week, and they deposed a guard that worked at Westville who said, I've never seen a person not convicted of a crime being treated like this.
Well, we saw the photo around that time of him looking really frail and like defeated, right?
Yeah, and I didn't realize this, but it was stated in the court documents. Richard Allen is 5'5" and 175 pounds. They said he poses no physical threat whatsoever, but he was apparently tased at one point. And so all of this goes into them saying that this guy was in a complete state of psychosis. This cannot be admitted to court.
And for this very reason, that's why I want some sort of transparency to where the public can see, because there's a lot of people that feel like Richard Allen's not the guy, or maybe there are a lot of things that don't add up here. And if it doesn't add up, then an acquittal could be on the table here. But if you're telling me, Donnie, that this judge is leaning toward very little media in the courtroom, not broadcast, and you can't live tweet it or can't give live updates, it almost feels like they're covering something up.
Yeah, it's just, you can get really bogged down in the speculation here, and it's not concrete. She may have a change of heart as we get closer to the May 13th trial date, but this is going to create a lot of problems for accurate statements, reporting, unless we have somebody inside the courtroom to get all this information out, then this is going to be tough for people to digest and understand what's going on.
When do you think you're going to know? Because we're a month away now.
I would hope soon, but so many of these things are right down to the wire. And so I've got the number right here. I will make as many calls as possible to find out what's going on and what we will and will not be allowed to do.
So the judge, let me just get this clear. The judge has to decide whether or not to let that quote-unquote confession into evidence in the trial.
Yeah, they will. The defense is requesting a hearing to convince her to not allow that, and that will be up to her to decide.
Where can we get more information?
WIBC.com is where it's always at.
Donnie Burgess from the WIBC Newsroom. Donnie, thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
So, Nige, UConn, they knocked off Purdue. They are the college basketball champions.
Yeah.
Back-to-back. They won this thing a year ago. So they know what it's like to get an invite to the White House when Joe Biden's the president. UConn's big guy, Donovan Clingan, he was the guy that was tasked with trying to guard Zach Edey in that final game.
Didn't do a very good job. Edey had 37 points, correct?
Edey's a beast.
Yeah,
Edey's
dominant.
a beast. But Clingan's a pretty solid player, too. There's a chance he's going to play in the pros. But somebody, they asked him the other day, after their win against Purdue, about going back to the White House. And listen to his story of what happened last year when Connecticut went. He claims that there was a photo, and then Joe Biden spoke for like 3 or 4 minutes, ignored their head coach, and then totally forgot that they had a picture 3 minutes before and said, "Hey, let's take a photo."
Last year, after we won a national championship, went to the White House, took a picture with Joe Biden, team picture. Joe Biden talked to us for about 3 minutes, and then right after that, he asked us for a picture again.
What did he say in that 3 minutes?
Yeah. Completely ignored Coach Hurley. Really couldn't understand what he was saying, and then he said, "All right, let's grab a picture."
Okay, so pretty much standard for a meeting and an interaction with the President of the United States.
Right. The Prime Minister of Japan got the same treatment, to be fair. All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
East side crash southbound 465 at I-70 blocking the left lane, and traffic is stopped back to East 56th Street. Now eastbound 70 coming into downtown, that is stopped at west. We're pushed to Tibbs Avenue. Northbound 65 stopped coming out of downtown towards the northwest side from the north split up to 21st Street. We're also backed up to Michigan Street. Inbound 70 stop and go before Rural Street into the north split, and a crash southeastern Avenue east of Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Spring's here, so it's the perfect time to get your HVAC in top shape with Mr. Quick's $49 preseason tune-up. Get ahead of the heat and enjoy comfort all summer. Visit MrQuickHomeServices.com and get your tune-up today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
So to recap, if you ever get to meet Joe Biden, the procedure is picture, gibberish for 3 minutes, and then Joe Biden going, let's get a picture.
Pretty much.
Fantastic. 59 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Are you okay with this? Next.
My man Mark Dietel, the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. How about Greg in Franklin? Here's what he had to say. My tenant moved out of my investment property, and I was done and ready to sell. I heard about Mark Dietel on the show. And everything they say is true. In 15 days on the market, I had a cash offer on the property, and it was done. Selling with Mark Dietel was fast, easy, and profitable.
What separates Mark Dietel from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's how much confidence Mark Dietel has. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts. Call Mark Dietel today. They will explain this amazing guarantee for you personally. 317-755-4232, or go to his website, markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Rise, rise.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue. Guarding dreams for all, he believes in you.
Raju Chinthala is a healthcare professional, a successful businessman, and a community leader with experience. Raju is ready to be your next congressman in the 5th District. Raju for you.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue.
Raju is a family man ready to represent your family with Hoosier values. And he's a man of action, ready to get things done. Vote for Raju Chinthala, Republican 5th District Congress.
Raju, shades of red, white, and blue. Guarding dreams for all, he believes in you.
I'm Raju Chintala, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Raju for Congress.
Attention seniors, you're invited to the grand opening of CenterWell Indy West. CenterWell offers primary care centered on seniors, so come celebrate on Thursday, April 18th at 5115 West Washington Street in Indianapolis from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, call 317-754-7291 or visit meetcenterwellindiana.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
Michelin's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $200 more. See store for details.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. Eligible members can select a plan now. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake kitchen and bath cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer on a podcast. Tom Brady was asked if he would come back if a contender had their quarterback injured and they needed a QB heading into the playoffs. Here is what Tom Brady had to say about that.
One day there's a situation, right? Maybe it's the 49ers, maybe, heading to the playoffs. Offense is great.
Patriots, somebody, Raiders,
look,
could be, you never know.
God forbid somebody goes down. Would you pick up that phone?
I'm not opposed to it. If they would, I don't know if they're going to let me if I become an owner in the NFL team, but I don't know if, I don't know. I'm always going to be in good shape, always be able to throw the ball. So to come in for a little bit, like MJ coming back, I don't know if they let me, but I wouldn't be opposed to it.
You okay with this?
I mean, I can't hate this at all. Imagine being so set up in life, your options are, do I want to be an owner or do I want to play quarterback in the NFL? Well, I don't know. Let me see.
Isn't he trying to be get in with the Vegas Raiders?
Yes, he's trying to get a group together to where he can be part of the ownership. And I believe if you're an owner, I don't think you can activate yourself.
I don't think so.
Because trust me, Jerry Jones would have done it by now. Jerry Jones would have activated himself with the Dallas Cowboys if you could do that.
Roger Dorn did it too.
Right. Pulling a Roger Dorn. Listen, Brady can still throw. He's taking care of himself. And now that he's had some time off, maybe his body's even healed up. some dudes take some time off and they decide, all right, I'm going to eat donuts. I'm going to get fat. I'm just going to enjoy my money. I'm going to run around and be single Tom Brady, which would be a blast. But I think he still wants to play a little bit. But like a lot of these vets, doesn't want to do training camp, doesn't want to deal with the early season crap. Let me know if somebody goes down before the playoffs, and I'll ride out there and we'll win this thing. I'm all right with it.
All right, let's keep it in the football category. Texas Longhorns quarterback Quinn Ewers has inked an NIL deal, name, image, likeness, with a private jet company. He's allowed to use it for private air travel as part of the deal. Are you okay with this?
Again, don't hate the player, hate the game. There's nothing better than being an NIL recipient in college, especially if you're Quinn Ewers of Texas. So there's a good chance he's the biggest name in college football next year, right? So, of course, the Texas Longhorns, they want to make sure he's happy. They wanted to make sure he didn't go to the NFL draft. They hooked him up with a private jet deal. So he's going to endorse this company, what is it called, Nicholas Air, as the official private jet of Quinn Ewers in Texas football. What an awesome thing. Could you imagine being a college kid, 21, 22 years old, and having access to a private jet whenever you want?
Who were the players back in the day that got really in big trouble for free tattoos?
Ohio State. Maurice Claret and company got in trouble for getting tattoos, and now we're giving this kid a private jet.
My, how times have changed. A Florida woman named Aubrey just got married last month. There's video of her exiting the venue and making the rounds on social media because she ran outside into the night with the photographer flashing away while she was running with the wrong guy.
Ooh.
Go ahead, you can play it.
Yeah! Wait, no, you got the wrong. Go get him!
That's a hilarious piece. If you didn't hear it, you hear some guy say, hey, you got the wrong dude. So she ran outside dragging a guy behind her who was not her husband, but some random guest. Are you okay with this?
I'm okay with this because I have seen this happen a bunch of times at weddings. This is clearly one of those staged pictures, right? The photographer will take people outside for like a sparkler send-off.
Oh, you're saying it's a work?
I'm telling you, it's not necessarily a work. She's probably a little inebriated, but the photographer said, all right, I want you to run outside and I'm going to get as many pictures as I can. And the crowd's there and they're cheering. She probably just grabbed a hand thinking it was her husband, but it was just some random dude. And then somebody had to point out, Allison, can you play it again? That it was the wrong dude.
Wait, no, you got the wrong.
So she's probably doing whatever the photographer told her to do. We want this sunset picture. We want this sparkler send-off. She grabs a hand, she runs, photographer takes a picture, but she's had a few cocktails. She didn't realize that was not her husband. I think it's a big nothing burger.
One more here. A North Carolina woman threatened to, she threatened to throw a shoe at the mayor of Raleigh City because she was looking at her phone during a city council meeting. Here's the woman, her name's Catherine, making the threat towards the mayor.
Marianne Baldwin, if I can keep from throwing the shoe at you, you can keep from off your phone while listening to your constituents talk.
Are you okay with this?
Yes, I'm okay with this. Although Austin Powers once said, and I quote, who throws a shoe?
Really?
Seriously, who throws a shoe? But if, you're at a council meeting and you take time out of your day to actually go up and have the confidence, which not a lot of people have, to go up and address people that are elected officials that are supposed to be working for you, and they sit up there and they act like they don't want to be there and they act smug and they're playing on their phone. I totally get it. Sometime you have to throw a shoe at somebody to get their attention, or at least threaten to throw a shoe at somebody. I'll allow it. I'm okay with that. All right, coming up next, we've got somebody that can break down numbers better than most.
And it's important, too, because it affects everybody. The economy right now, the most important issue in the country, that and the open southern border. John Carney, economics editor for Breitbart, is going to break it all down for us. And then after that...
It is Beer Sample Friday. We officially
What are we doing?
kickstart the weekend at 5:48.
I know, but we're doing something different.
Today, it's not about the beer. It's about how we drink the beer.
Oh, boy.
I got the beer bong ready.
No.
I've named it Billy Bong Thornton. It's ready. And that's coming up all after the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
She wants those records kept private. Cloudy and 58 degrees downtown. Radar shows rain to the east of Indianapolis. You'll have a low of 43 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:29. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita believes abortion records should be made public to make sure the law is being followed. His political opponent disagrees.
I would not be using the office to be going after our medical providers.
Democrat Destiny Wells says the Attorney General is just using the same old scare tactics against doctors who want to provide abortions. She says Rokita's history of this kind of action is hurting Indiana's healthcare field.
We need to be able to keep the doctors we have, not going after them so much so that they leave the state, and also so much so that we can't recruit new doctors here to Indiana.
Wells says making abortion records public would also put your privacy at risk. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 people were found with gunshot wounds in Indianapolis on the north side last night. One of them a teenage boy. The other a man who had walked into a hospital. He's still alive but seriously hurt. IMPD Captain Don Wildhammer thinks both the incidents could be connected.
The biggest thing that helps us is people that have seen it or can tell us. Even if it's like, hey, I saw somebody running away from the area or a vehicle driving away.
He says if you have any information, give IMPD or Crime Stoppers a call. Someone stole an 18-wheeler and drove it straight into the front of a Texas Department of Public Safety substation today, killing one person.
He did come to the DPS Brenham office yesterday at approximately 3 or 4 p.m., where he was denied his commercial driver license.
DPS Sergeant Justin Ruiz talking about the suspect. 14 people were hurt, including one person who died. The driver ID'd as Clennard Parker was arrested. President Biden says Iran attacking Israel may be a matter of when, not if.
I got expectations sooner than later.
Giving the comment today while at a conference in New York. Iran has warned the U.S. to not interfere with its conflict in Israel, or they may attack American troops in the region. And the life of Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry remembered at his funeral today. Steve McElhoe is Henry's best friend who remembered a time when a girl asked if the Fort Wayne mayor was rich.
Tom looked at the young lady and said, "Yes, honey, I am rich, but not with money. I'm rich because I have a wife, children, and family who love me, and I love them. I'm also rich because I live in the best city in the best country in the world."
Henry died March 28th. He was Fort Wayne's longest-serving mayor. And with traffic at 5:31, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, crash on the east side at southbound 465 at I-70. Left lane is blocked. And that has a stop and go past East 56th Street. Crash clear downtown northbound 65 at West. Still stop and go through the north split back to Rural Street and northbound 6570. Hardly moving from Michigan Street up to the north split. Crash cleanup continues on the north side. Westbound 465 at Ditch Road is on the left shoulder, slowing traffic back to Meridian 31. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road on North Shadeland, online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Rain will diminish by tonight with skies turning mostly clear as lows fall into the low 40s. Then for Saturday, we're in for a much warmer and nicer day with lots of sunshine as highs pushed in the mid-upper 60s with dry time. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer over there. Let's bring on our special guest, Breitbart economics editor, John Carney. Happy Friday. John, the reason why we like you, and I told Francis Martell this too, your world editor, you have a way of explaining economics and what's going on with the economy, and it's so important right now, but you have a way of explaining it to where even if Hammer and I each chugged 10 beers apiece and then called you, we'd still understand. I think we'd have a good idea of pretty what you're talking about. So that's, we're fans here at the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I appreciate it. I've had lots of practice explaining the economy in bars and in backyard barbecues. So that might be where I got that skill.
So here's the headline. Bidenflation reignited. Consumer prices rise more than expected for third straight month. That is from Breitbart.com. You wrote this article. Translation, I'm assuming prices are still going up, and so is inflation. Can you break it down for us?
Yes. So what's happening is that at the end of last year, inflation was coming down. And this started to sort of build momentum and hope that maybe we had kind of gotten over the hump of inflation, that it was going to keep coming down. People started to say, well, the Fed will be able to cut interest rates. Those hopes have been dashed by the last 3 months, really the last 4. Inflation started to tick up in December. It got much worse in January. It was pretty bad in February, and in March it was much worse again. So initially, when we had the bad inflation number in January, people said, okay, well, maybe it's just a one-off, a seasonal effect. A lot of weird things happen around the holidays in terms of the economy, so maybe we can just look past that. But now we've had several months of bad inflation numbers, and it is set in that, look, inflation isn't coming down. It's stuck. It's not going back up to 9%. We're not going to see the really terrible levels we saw a year and a half ago. But we're not coming down anywhere to an acceptable level, certainly not 2%. Inflation looks like it's getting stuck somewhere between 3 and 5%.
John, Jason Hammer here, and I'm old enough to remember when Joe Biden and Jen Psaki and Karine Jean-Pierre, they all told us this was transitory. That was the buzzword. And Joe Biden, anytime he could go on television, he would tell you all of these, economic experts and these economic scholars, they all agree it's transitory. What the hell happened to that, and who the hell were these scholars?
Right. Well, so what happened was they were very wrong. They believed that we hadn't had inflation for a long time. And so this sounds silly when I put it this way, but this is literally what happened. They said, well, look, we really haven't had inflation for a long time, so inflation should just go away. That they assumed.
And people bought that. Yeah.
Yeah. That all their sophisticated models, all of their, the thousands of economists at the Federal Reserve, it basically came down to the idea that, well, we haven't had inflation for a long time. We had a little bit of inflation. Oh, wait, we had a lot of inflation, but we still think it's just going to go back to how it was. They didn't understand that the economy, in large part because we're running very large budget deficits that are putting a lot of pressure on the economy, has really kicked into a high inflation gear, and that's not going away. Now, look, a lot of these people are, maybe they just didn't study the past, so they're unfamiliar with what happens when you have high inflation. We haven't had high inflation since basically we elected Ronald Reagan and we got Paul Volcker at the Federal Reserve. They teamed up. They defeated the bad inflation of the Carter years. Well, it's back. We're stuck with it. Interest rates probably aren't high enough, frankly, to get rid of the inflation we have. They were high enough to bring it down, but then the Fed stopped raising rates, started thinking they were going to be able to cut, and inflation has just come right back.
And so could you explain the correlation between inflation and what I'm paying for a pound of turkey breast at the deli at Kroger?
Right. When you look at what's happened over the last 3 years, you should expect over time prices to go up a little. What's happened is we've seen tremendous increases in these things. So we've seen the price of food has gone up over 20% over the last few years. That is that puts a lot of pressure on people's budgets. And what we're seeing is that inflation now, if you look at the price to fix things in your home, there's a line in the inflation report that's called repair of home items. It's up 18% year over year. There's another line in there about car insurance. Look at what's happened to car insurance. It's up 22%. Why is car insurance up so much? Well, there's another line in there to repair your car. That's also up something like 18%. So all of these prices have gone up. These are not prices, by the way, that you can avoid paying. And that's one of the reasons inflation hurts people so much. Because, sure, look, if airline fares go up a little, we can say, tell your kids we're not going to, fly somewhere. We'll drive somewhere. Well, guess what? You can't avoid paying your auto insurance. You'll get in a lot of trouble for that. You can't avoid fixing your car if it breaks down. Something goes wrong in your house, you've got to fix that. So and of course you have to feed your family. So these are unavoidable increased costs of living, and that's why inflation's hurting people so much.
And I'm glad you said that, because Nigel and I were talking about that this past week. There's nowhere you can go to avoid what's going on right now. There's nowhere you can go to hide. How much of this is solely the fault of Joe Biden and his administration? Because, John, I'm seeing a lot of polling and interviews of people who did not vote for Donald Trump the last time around, people who might not even like Donald Trump, but they had more money in their pocket when he was the president, and now they're thinking about hitching their wagon to him.
Yeah, I think that people are right to be assigning blame to Joe Biden for this explosion of inflation. We would have had some inflation coming out of the pandemic. We had lockdowns. We shut down businesses. International freight was all messed up. Remember, we had those big, traffic jams at ports. So we would have had some inflation coming up. Inflation would not have gotten as high as it did get, and it probably would have actually been transitory if not for the fiscal policies of the Biden administration. Those are the reason why inflation has been persistent. It's why it got so high. So yes, I coined the term Bidenflation, and that's what this is. It is Joe Biden's inflation.
John Carney is a Breitbart economics editor here on the Hammer and Nigel show. So this is a simple question. Like, if we're paying this amount, just for example, if we're paying this amount for groceries right now, which is up 20-30%, will they ever come back down? I mean, we're paying for it now. What's the incentive for companies to lower their prices again?
Yeah, so we're not going to see lower prices. The best we can hope for is to get inflation down to a tolerable level so that over time it doesn't sting as much. If inflation runs at 5% over the next 10 years, we will be in serious trouble. If inflation runs at 1.8% over the next 10 years, we'll get used to the prices. Our wages will beat the price gains. Eventually, we will come out ahead. But you cannot do that unless you get inflation under control. You'll never get ahead of the price increases. So we need to get it under control. The prices aren't coming down, unfortunately. Look, some prices may come down. Obviously, airline fares go up and down. But your auto insurance isn't coming down. It's not really going to get cheaper to fix your cars. It's not going to get cheaper to hire people to, paint your house. These are permanent scars in the economy that the Biden administration has wrought. Over time, we will be able to deal with them as long as we get inflation under control.
John, we got about a minute left here. Let's just, for argument's sake, say that there's a change in leadership. Donald Trump wins the election in November. He takes over as the president. With this inflation problem, is it a quick fix?
It will take some time to bring it down. When you have messed up policy this much, it doesn't go away. One analogy I use for people is the crime problem, right? Once you let crime get out of control on your city streets, you can elect somebody who's going to come in and fix that, but it's going to take some time. It doesn't get fixed right away because the criminals think they can get away with it. The same thing happens with the economy. Once you have inflation running high, it takes time to bring down. So it's going to take some time, but frankly, I'd rather have somebody start to make progress on it as soon as possible rather than somebody who is just going to keep telling us it's just going to magically go away. It's all transitory, folks. Don't worry about it.
And John can break this down for you every day. You can subscribe to the Breitbart Business Digest newsletter, which is co-authored weekdays by John Carney and your boss, buddy, the big guy, editor-in-chief Alex Marlowe. John, find his work at Breitbart.com. John Carney, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks a lot, guys.
So, Nige, sometime on Beer Sample Friday, we'll bring in beers that maybe we haven't had before. It's something new. Yeah. Today, we've got a basic beer, but we're going to be drinking it in a new way.
No.
I got the beer bong, baby. We're going to break out the beer bong.
I'm going to puke up every bit of it back up, I have a feeling.
Get to the YouTube cameras. It's happening next.
Congresswoman Spartz will be ready for your interview soon.
It seems pretty intense in there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Maybe I'll take some time before the interview to Google Victoria Spartz and learn a little more about her. Whoa. Have you seen this article?
One aide calling the lawmakers' workplace behavior manic?
Victoria Spartz was #1 on Legistorm's list of worst bosses based on high turnover rates.
Says she, quote, avoided firing aides and instead bullied them until they left.
And the story is based on interviews with half a dozen former staffers.
Yikes. Spartz called staff morons and idiots.
Get this. Victoria Spartz says her working style is, quote, not for everyone.
Well, it's not for me. I think I'll pass on this interview.
I'm Chuck Goodrich. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go with Chuck Goodrich Committee.
Now through Monday, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's a once-in-a-lifetime sale. Hey, it's bigger than the Eclipse, I'm telling you. Every mattress by Indiana-made Sealy. All outdoor furniture by Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. Every sectional sofa recliner by Indiana-made Smith Brothers and Lazy Boy is on sale. Low price guarantee, free delivery, only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store in Columbus. So they will deliver the new piece of furniture. They will set it up. They'll take the old one back, no additional charge. Owned and operated by the same awesome family in Columbus since 1927. Thompson Furniture and Mattress, they support what we do at the Hammer and Nigel show. So please, take care of these guys. ThompsonFurniture.net, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
A broken border, corrupt politicians, and the rise of communist China. We don't need leaders who will surrender. We need America First conservative Mike Speedy. Mike Speedy endorses President Trump and will join him to fix our border once and for all. Mike Speedy will fight the woke leftists to guarantee life and liberty. Speedy has a track record of fighting and winning. Mike Speedy is the only candidate in the GOP primary with both an A+ rating from the NRA and the endorsement of Indiana Right to Life. Speedy is the conservative who beat the abortion lobby, voting to make Indiana pro-life in the post-Roe v. Wade era. Mike Speedy also voted to ban sanctuary cities and voted to guarantee our right to constitutional carry. Mike Speedy, America First conservative for Congress. Vote Republican Mike Speedy in Indiana's 6th Congressional on or before May 7th.
I'm Mike Speedy. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Speedy for Congress.
Tim McGraw. In concert. The Standing Room Only Tour 2024. A night filled with your favorite songs. This Thursday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. With special guest Carly Pierce and Randall King. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tim McGraw. Presented by Sports Illustrated.
Woodard, Emhart, Henry, Reeves, and Wagner. Over 140 years specializing exclusively in patent, trademark, trade secret, and copyright law and litigation. On the web at uspatent.com.
Spring's here, so it's the perfect time to get your HVAC in top shape with Mr. Quick's $49 preseason tune-up. Get ahead of the heat and enjoy comfort all summer. Visit MrQuickHomeServices.com and get your tune-up today.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Maroon 5 with very special guest Maren Morris on Saturday, June 22nd at Ruoff Music Center.
Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
All right, Nigel, looking at the east side, southbound 465 crash has cleared at I-70, still slow. Back to West 56th Street, but we have another crash. This on the northeast side. It is southbound 465 at East 71st, blocking the right lane, causing stop traffic to Allisonville Road. Westbound 465 on the north side, slow from US 31 to Ditch. Coming into downtown, southbound 65, stop and go traffic from MLK to Meridian Pad, and south side, eastbound 465, slows Kentucky Avenue to Harding. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road, or on North Shadeland, online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
57 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center on 93 WIBC. Right now,
Hammer and Nigel present.
Fry.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
Beers on sale, people. Come down, get you some.
So explain to me what we're doing again.
First of all, thank you to Thompson Furniture and Mattress,
oh, yeah.
proud sponsors of Beer Sample Friday.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be real proud of this segment.
ThompsonFurniture.net. So sometimes on Friday, we have specialty beers, themed beers, or beers we've never had before. Today, it's about how we drink the beers. I went down to Florida, and I got this beer bong.
Get to the YouTube channel. Just type in Hammer and Nigel or 93 WIBC.
The WIBC channel has our YouTube feed. Now, the beer bong is basically just a funnel with a tube in it.
Yeah.
And I used to do these all the time back in college. All the time. I haven't done one of these probably in about 7 to 10 years.
I've done one, and it's been 20 years at Ball State at a X103 broadcast at a bar.
The last one I had was a Tennessee football game against Florida, tailgating. So the way it works is you pour the beer in the bong, and then you lift up the funnel and down the hatch.
It just goes straight down. When I remember doing it for the first time, I was like, oh, this is a lot easier than I thought, but I haven't done it.
So I'm going to give you the bong here. Now, before you do it, I got to pour the beer in here. So put your thumb in there just to...
I'm so nervous because I don't know if this is...
Try not to make it as foamy. Put this Ball State education to work.
Okay.
Raise it up just a little bit so we pour it in.
Yeah. Oh.
Keep raising. We're almost there.
Stop.
All right.
Now, I had to type in how to do a beer bong in YouTube earlier.
We're like the guys at Office Space that had to look up money laundering. All right, Big Nige. Go. Everybody in your car, cheer them on. Let's go. Get it. Go. You got it. You're almost there. Yeah. Woo!
That tastes so good when it hits her lips.
Well done.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I did it. All right, you sit in my chair.
Okay.
You actually did that pretty well. I thought you were going to get it a little bit.
Woo!
Wow.
Now, mind you,
I'm going to buy one of these for my house.
I'm the kind of guy that can't swallow pills.
You have to chew your pills up.
I chew up a leaf, okay? So let's get this thing in there.
I'm tipping it on its
The newsroom is peeking in, by the way.
This hasn't been done on this radio station since Mike Pence used to do Beer Sample Friday,
right,
I believe.
Dude.
Oh, smooch a little bit. All right.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go. You got it. You got this. You got it. Keep going. It's almost there. The beer is disappearing down the funnel. Oh, no. Oh. Woo! Oh, it looks like you I think I did a better job. There's some left in there. Oh. I think I won that contest, Allison.
You won it.
You did it with
wow.
It's easier for you to chug than I. Again,
you can't swallow pills.
but man, I want to do it again.
Happy birthday.
Fill it up again.
Happy Beer Sample Friday, everybody. Oh, wow. All right, we're done. Are we done for this hour? We still got to be coherent for
I think we got to be
hour.
coherent for at least another hour to go. But it's Beer Sample Friday. Thank you to Thompson Furniture and Mattress
in Columbus.
Man.
Wait.
JMV's here. We're going overtime, Allison.
Okay.
We're going overtime.
Oh, my God. JMV just walked in here.
Little cross promotion here, baby.
Oh, look at
Oh, shit. Get it, John.
John, are you doing it?
Get it.
Oh, he's doing it.
No, trash can right there. John. Trash can.
No, I'm all good.
Get it, JMV. Let's go. Go.
Oh, there it is.
Well done.
No, pour back in there. Oh, John, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It goes. People don't know we all took 3 shots. Right? Now, what are we on right here?
This is the YouTube camera from WIBC.
Gotcha.
All right.
Because I noticed you cussed. I didn't think you were on.
Well, we edited that out.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Allison's good at the
Allison was
dump
on
button.
the dump button. Did we get that part out of there, Allison?
Sure.
Feeling all right, big fella?
I'm feeling good, guys.
Hey.
So, hey.
JMV, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys.
There's the
Thanks,
man.
fellas.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
Allison, I'll talk to you in the
Thank
morning.
you.
We're coming right back.
Liberals have quit on America.
We have a secure border.
They'll deny it while they throw away the America we built together.
I'm telling the American people that we're going to get control of inflation.
It's no accident they let Indianapolis burn, or why our border overflows. Jefferson Shreve, he fights back. He's conservative, pro-police, strong border. So he gets hit like this.
Jefferson Shreve, Trump-style politics trashing our city.
And what's more, Shreve takes no lobbyist money, owes no one, and can't be bought. So to them, Shreve is the enemy. Defend our country from the left, the elites, the ones who've been bought and sold. Defend it with a fighter who can't be bought. For law, order, and a secure border, he's Jefferson Shreve for Congress.
I'm Jefferson Shreve, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Shreve for Congress.
Now if you're heading on home or you're taking a getaway, well, there's so much to see at the crossroads of the USA.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com.
Cover me.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
I just wish Mom could hear better on the phone.
Dad gets so upset with me when I call. I wish it were different.
The CapTel caption phone from Relay Indiana allows you to speak into the phone and your words appear on a bright, easy-to-read screen. Conversations occur naturally with added clarity.
I used to love our phone chats. I wish it was like before.
Now it can be with the CapTel caption phone. Go to RelayIndiana.com and call 334-1413 today.
Waiting on a tax return?